Good afternoon, everyone out there in wherever you might be, YouTube land, on the internet. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. I'm coming to you live from my lake location. You're watching us coming in live. And this is a live scene in the background here. Thanks a lot for joining us. Edward Cam, first one in there. Lorena Morena, popping in there. Good to see you. I'm just working on my studio here. I was trying to get stuff going here. I was working diligently on getting the lake cam going there. As you can see, this is beautiful Sylvan Lake superimposed behind me, but that's my camera that's set up live right now, taking a shot of Sylvan Lake, basically outside of my house here. And thanks a lot for everyone to tune in here. Eric and Doris Deadweiler, hey, good to see you. And we're, by the way, transmitting or broadcasting both vertical and horizontal on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube and we're coming in vertical, you can probably find a horizontal feed, which might be a little bit better for you. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure stuff out here. I'm not sure why my whole stream is coming in here kind of a little bit smaller than usual in this format that I'm looking at right here on horizontal, which is kind of weird. Let's see. I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe that's just the way it's happening because they're trying to show both vertical and horizontal on the screen here at the same time. I don't know. But here in Alberta, hey, love of night, good to see you. Sickos, Leo Lucifer in there with the Sickos comment. Good to see you there, Leo, coming in from Ontario. Ann B in there, looking good. Yeah, and I've got a good friend of mine that I met at the Alberta basically it was a big get-together for independence, and his name is John Bolton, and he actually made with Sumo a theme song for the province of Alberta. So I'd like to play that first on the program here, courtesy of John Bolton. Here's his We Are Alberta song, which is pretty cool. I kind of like it. I heard it. It's kind of a, if we do separate, this may very well be the theme song of our new country of Alberta up here as we separate from Canada. So check this out. We are Alberta.
From the prairies wide to the mountain high, we rise with strength beneath the sky. Through storm and trial, we stand our ground. In Alberta's heart, true grit is found. We are Alberta, tall and free, forged by word and destiny. With hands that build, with hearts that care, our spirits strong beyond compare.
CJ, Miss Angie. This will be our new theme song when Alberta separates.
No chains of power shall bind our way. We earn our keep. We shape each day with courage born of the northern flame. Our voice is ours, our proudest claim. We are
Friday, everyone. Mama Red. Whoop whoop, Pooh Scissors in there. It's epic, Pooh.
Together we stand through wind and rain, helping our own through loss and gain, rewarding skill, not idle throne. In Alberta's land, we walk alone.
Alberta's theme song.
We are Alberta, strong and true. Our future bright, our skies are blue. Independent hearts forever sing. Alberta reigns, our anthem rings. We are Alberta, proud and free, forged by work and destiny. With hands that build, with hearts that care, our spirit strong beyond compare.
Okay, so that's the big song. Excellent, excellent. Love to hear that. And we're coming to you live from Sylvan Lake. And as you can see, this is the beautiful Sylvan Lake right behind me here. This is a live video today, right now, coming to you from a camera that I have outside pointed right at the lake. And I'm pretty close to the lake here. Like I said, if you knew or were following me in the past there, you knew that we acquired a property down here in Sylvan Lake, and it's kind of my getaway location. But I can also stream this video from back home in Edmonton, because I will be able to put it online so that I can, basically pull the feed whenever I want using the technology of the internet. Good to see everyone in there. We've got lots of good people in there. We've got Edward Cam in there, Lorena Morena in there, Ann B. Eric is in there, Leo Lucifer, Ann B. Leo's over on Facebook watching. And we're coming to you both vertical and horizontal on YouTube. So if you don't like the vertical, then head over to the horizontal. We'll see how that works out on YouTube as far as how many people are going to be watching. I don't know. Oh, I'm just looking at the counter here. I don't know that I can tell how many people are actually watching on horizontal or on vertical, or whether it gives me a combined total here on my little counter or not. Not too sure. Not too sure about that at all. Okay, what are we looking at here? We're looking at 8835 is where we're starting the stream out here as far as the number of subs here today. Let me just make a note of that here. I like to always note what the date is and what my streams are here. 8845. Ooh, last time I streamed, I was at 8842. What is it here? November 14th. Let's see. 2025. So we gained about 3 subs since I last streamed. So people are actually subbing to me even when I'm not streaming. So that's actually a pretty good thing. Who else? Love of Night in there. It's good to see you. Miss Angie, thanks a lot. Good supporter of the stream. CJ, you're a good supporter of the stream there as well. Actually, a lot of you are there. Really appreciate you coming back. Even Pooh Scissors there wearing his green badge there. Mama, Red Mama there. I was thinking, hey, Kit Kat, you too. Good to see you there, Kit Kat. Honk Tube in there. And let's see, who's the latest in there? I'm kind of behind on the chat a little bit here. Oh, you like the horizontal better? Yeah, well, it's just a brand new thing here with StreamYard that they're allowing us to stream both vertical and horizontal at the same time. And for actually the same price tier too. Like I can stream with the price tier that I'm on, I can stream to 3 different places or platforms, i.e. I stream to YouTube, Facebook, and X, but they're also allowing me to stream on 2 as far as vertical and horizontal on YouTube at the same time. So that's actually 4 streams now instead of 3 that they're allowing me to do. So yeah, that's pretty good. Good to see you there, Kit Kat. Looking good, looking good. Let's see, who else in here? Partabonza in there, just popping in. Hey, Partabonza, good to see you. We were playing the, which you missed it, the Alberta theme song, which John Bolton, a guy that I met at the Alberta Independence gig at the legislative grounds, came up with that particular song, which is a pretty cool thing. Mater 97, hey, popping in there, good to see you, Mater. Big ups to you there. Jeff is doing that tonight on Beers and Cheers. Okay, that sounds good. Kenzie Kraken, hey, good to see you. Saw you over on the where was it? The Rebel channel there today with your other pseudo name. Yeah, speaking of you there, Kenzie. Yeah, I'm boycotting the Ryan Jesperson show, because those guys are such a bunch of snowflakes over there. I can't believe it. Ryan Jesperson, somebody should point this out to you, that Tommy Temper's talking to you about this, so you can listen to this. You got to do something about Johnny and his button finger there for banning people, or not really banning, but timing out people. It's just, he times people out for the most ridiculous thing, right? Because you had a guest come on, and all I said, my very first comment, okay, I got there, first thing, you had a guest on there. It doesn't even matter who the guest was, but all I said was, finally, a reasonable guest. That was my comment. That was it. That's all I said. Finally, a reasonable guest. And Johnny, with his button finger there, gives me a timeout for the whole frickin' show, which when you time people out, what it does is it makes them shut you off so that you don't watch what's going on. So keep that in mind. Anybody that's a mod in here, there are some people that complain to me all the time about you guys that have wrenches in here timing people out. So don't time anybody out unless I ask you to, okay? If I don't ask you to time anybody out, don't time people out. Hey, give us a thumbs up on the stream there, by the way. Let me just go over to my own video here and give myself a thumbs up. Let me just double check here and see what's going on. Oh, on the vertical, we've got, how many? 6 people watching. Thanks a lot for watching. There, Kit Kat and Pooh Scissors over there. I see that, and I'm going to give myself a thumbs up on that one. Thanks for giving us a thumbs up over there. And it's kind of a weird looking thing with my background in there, but it is what it is, I guess. And on this one here, we got about 30 people watching here now. Let me just give us a thumbs up. We got 12 thumbs up there now. Let's see, we got HonkTube in there, Mater 97. Lots of channels are doing just that. Yeah, exactly. Since they came up with that. Railroaded in there. Railroaded. Okay. So anyways, let me finish up with the Johnny thing there. So what Johnny, yeah, thanks a lot for turning on that slow mode and the rest of that stuff there. Appreciate that, whoever that super mod was that did that. Let me just go over to my live content here and give it a thing here. There's lots of stuff you have to do with these channels there to set up the back end of it there when you start streaming. Okay, we've got that one turned on. I don't know if it would do me any good on vertical. I'll just leave that one off for now. Let's see, what do I show here? Oh, actually, I do show 2 streams on my back end here. That's pretty cool. Well, that's the first time that I'm trying some of this stuff out here, so excuse me if I'm taking a little bit of time to figure stuff out. Again, if you're just fresh in here, the view behind me is Sylvan Lake. It is the lake that I'm at here right now, and this is a live video of the lake that I've set up a camera outside and have it beamed over at the lake there so that I can, just kind of monitor the condition of the lake there. Now, that lake does freeze in the wintertime, so you'll be seeing me stream here over the next month or so, and as it gets colder and colder up here in Canada, you'll see that lake completely freeze over. And one of the things that I want to try and do is maybe do some ice fishing. So maybe I'll get a tent, and you'll see a tent out there on the lake, and we'll be doing a little bit of ice fishing out there. That'll be fun. So far, I haven't done any fishing out there in the lake at all, although a lot of people do fish out there. I see them fishing, and they catch whatever pike and I don't know, all kind of fish in there. There's even apparently, because it's a deep lake, well, deep lake here, like maybe 50 feet or something like that, where there's eels, some kind of eel fish or something at the bottom of the lake. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll catch one of them. Content Explorer, hey, good to see you. Johnny Somali, yeah. Yeah, so anyways, what I was saying is that what I've done is I basically unsubscribed from Ryan Jesperson, because almost every second time that I go in there, I get a timeout from Johnny. And it's over the piddliest little snowflake stupid things that it's just totally ridiculous. It's like he, because I'm a right winger, and these guys know that I'm a right winger, and whether those guys are left wingers, I'm not going to say, but they appear to be left wing. They have a lot of love for the left wingers over there, and they just plain don't like us right wingers. And I see the same thing with some of my friends that are in there that are right wingers. They complain about the same thing, about getting timed out an awful lot by Johnny. And I know that it's him doing it because Ryan is busy talking and doing the gig, and Johnny is in the back looking at the chat like, oh, I'm going to get you. You're a bad guy. I'm going to time you out, whatever. For what, and meanwhile, you got channels like The Rebel that don't even have any mods in there at all. You can say whatever the hell you want. There are lots of channels that don't mod whatsoever. But over there, oh no, don't say anything that they don't like. And like I said, it can just be something as simple as you finally got a reasonable guest. I couldn't even say that. And I got a timeout, so I thought, screw you. I'm going to just unsub and stay away from the channel for a while and let those guys do what they're going to do. And they're not going to be able to enjoy my company over there, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights, popping in here, saying hi. He pops into every channel. I'm telling you, you go into every channel and say hi. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is, let's see, we had our good friend... Let me just bring it up here on a window. Hang on here. Let me, we ran into our good friend of all people. If you know who I'm talking about. Railroaded, you even texted me behind the scenes there asking me to try and help you. Oh, maybe it was behind the scenes, but it was on a comment or something like that, that you wanted me to try and help you because I live in Sylvan Lake, and you know who else lives in Sylvan Lake? That good friend of yours by the name of Queenie, or maybe not so good friend. And I know CJ Canada didn't like the fact that I met up with her. And I did a little video, and let's see. Let me just bring that video up here and see if I can show you that in case you didn't see it. Just hang on one second. Check it out. Here. It's the Tommy. Hang on one second here. This is funny. Oh, geez. This is actually ridiculous when you come right up to it. Let me see here. Here she is. It's Queenie and Tommy Temper. This is when we had a little get-together. I went into Red Deer, of all places, and this is what happened, is that my son saw Queenie at the front of the place, and I kind of looked and I thought, nah, I don't know if that's Queenie, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. And I turned around the other way, and then she yells out at the top of her lungs, and I was like halfway down the store. And it's a fairly big store, about the size of a Safeway store or something like that. And she yells out, "Tommy Temper, don't run away," or something like that. And I go, oh my God, that's Queenie. So I had to go over to where she was at and say hi to her or whatever. And this is basically the gig here. This is what happened next here. Hang on. This is when Queenie and Tommy Temper got, well, not back together, but just ran into each other. Okay, so whatever, we were okay. We're pretty good friends, whatever. Check it out. It's the Tommy Temper Queenie get-together show.
And again, a year later, and we're at Value Village catching up some good deals.
Holy smokes, you'd never believe this.
Well, you live close to me. What did you think? You weren't going to run into my fat
Well,
ass?
I know, but this is red deer here. We're like 20K away.
But you didn't think you're going to run into my big butt? You can't miss me.
Yeah,
You can't
okay,
miss
well,
me.
yeah. That's us down here at Value Village. See you later. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what happened. And then right after that,
Are you worried about
amazingly
Alaska
enough-
LNG?
Oh, hang on here. Get rid of that there. Let me come back in here with my studio cam here. Then she went live right away, and then we did a little hello thing on her stream there when she went live. So if you're a friend of hers, you can go over there and watch her lives. And at the beginning of one of her lives, we're saying hello again there. But yeah, you know, and that was one of the things that happened. That happened to me. Yeah, she was watching those ostriches there. She was telling me, actually, even right after that, she was saying she was so sorry to see that all those ostriches died there, whatever. But when she went out there to try and stream and help out with the ostrich thing, she kind of got shunned from the event there. So she said, well, whatever, screw with them, whatever. But when they were about a day before they killed all the ostriches there, she said, there's Pacer, there's Pacer. She actually saw a Pacer there. And then the very next day they went pow, 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 whatever, and they were all done for. Brought the sharpshooters in there. And they were just plain done for. How's everyone doing out there? What's going on in your world? And yeah, she's sure a lot more timid in person. Yeah. Well, she was, you know, whatever. Her and I have gotten along fairly well over the years. You know, she's badmouthed me a little bit there, and I badmouthed her a little bit. And then after that, it was like, okay, I'll just let you go your way, and I'll go my way. Come on, people, let's go ahead and hit that like button. Exactly. Panelverse, good to see you in there. Edward Cam, keep up with what? Yeah, exactly. Nothing to keep up with. Okay, we got people in there playing the slots and whatever. It's a no then. You weren't drinking with your man early in the day, Edward Cam. Oh, who are you talking about there? Oh, Red Mama. Okay. Oh, and Red. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Red and Red Mama there. I heard Red complaining about, who was it there? I don't know. He complains about the crew over there with DOA, you know, that whole crew, which, hey, I would complain about them too. DOA and the whole bunch of them there. Just, I don't know, kind of a sad sack bunch there anyway. Edward Cam, I called and left a police report. Oh, that's not good. Brutalized by the letter S during that stream. That's not too good. Some people talking about stuff going on here, online here. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Christmas icon. Same shit, different day. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Festive is my middle name. Hey, listen, I can hear like there's a compressor on. Maybe not a compressor, but a silencer or something on my microphone here. Because after I talk, you can hear a little bit of background noise, and then after that, it goes completely silent. So there's something or other turned on this console here that I'll have to investigate. Not that I need background noise or anything. Who else is popping in here? It is 12th Man. Hey, Tommy Temper and Chat. C-H-A-T. Very close, 12th Man. How's that booze? Into it first thing of the day. Yeah, it's a little windy out here. As you can see, this is the lake that I'm at, and this is a live video. Well, not a video, but a live camera that I have that I'm bringing into my stream. And I'm not actually sitting right here. I'm sitting, you know, as you guys well know, with a green screen behind me. But this video is coming from a camera that I have set up pointed at the lake, and I'm superimposing that behind me. And it's kind of going to be part of my routine here now, that you'll be able to see what it's like at the lake here. And as it gets colder, you'll be able to see the lake freeze and stuff like that. Deb's Daily, Crazy Daily, good to see you. Good supporter of the chat here and of the stream. Good to see you. festive season, festive scissors. Yeah. Mater is in there. ABD is in there. Hey, ABD, good to see you. Hey, where is he? I haven't seen him. It's ABD. Good to see you in here today. Whoop, whoop, as they say. Not necessary. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about the boyfriend there. 12 man, no drinking. You're taking a break for a while. Good for you. Just quit it. Just stop it completely. 12 man, it was taking over your life. Like, really, I have a drink. Be like me. Have a drink like once in a blue moon. You know, like maybe once a week or twice a week or something like that. Have like 1 or 2 drinks. But don't drink to the point where you get drunk. Like, just stop doing that completely. And you'll have a way better life, I'm sure. Same thing with the people that are out there smoking or doing other substances and stuff like that. Just take a break from the whole thing there, and you'll feel a lot better. A lot less coughing and spitting and spewing up and falling down and stuff like that. Yeah, just you'll have a way better life. Good grief. No one wants to see him. Okay, I agree with you. ABD.
Can't touch this.
Oh, yeah. Can't beat that. Okay, where's that dog?
What the dog doing?
I know, we're keep looking for that dog. Yeah, solid advice. Yeah, don't get drunk. Get even. Turn into a troll or something like that. Smoking a bowl right now, says Red Mama. Don't just, well, you know, hey, you might just keep on doing it forever, whatever, but, you know, let's face it, anything you do will affect the number of days that you're on this planet, put it that way. And if you're not doing anything, you probably live longer, you know what I mean? Although you always hear these people, yeah, well, I smoke 4 packs a day and I'm 100 years old or whatever, yeah. But that's like few and far between. Anyways, I was working on cameras, security cameras around the house here, putting up cameras and stuff like that, making sure that I've got the place secure here, that nobody's going to, you know, try and do some fishy stuff over here. Now that I'm going to be talking about separation and stuff like that, Alberta separation and things like that, whatever. So, you know, there's a lot of cuckoos out there that might come and try and get you or something. So we've got the camera set up and we're watching what's going on around here. And we've been watching what's happening over there with that Russia-Ukraine war that's been happening. And one of the funny things that I ran across that I want to put this out here for you is that there's this guy in Russia on, I don't know whether he's on that RT channel or what he's on, but bad time to talk to me because I'm online here live. But he's a broadcaster over in Russia. And they've been losing at the war. They've been really, you know, it's like 3 days to Kiev and we're going to take over the Ukraine and whatever. Meanwhile, 4 years later or whatever it is now, they still haven't done much of anything. It's, you know, gone forward a little bit, but little Ukraine is battling the big Russia, which I can't believe how well they're doing, you know, with all those drones and stuff like that. But anyways, there's this fairly big guy, I guess you could call him a personality, that's on the Russian television station that everybody watches over in Russia. And he's watching what's going on with all these robots. And you've probably seen this one here, but this is the full take on it here, which is pretty good. But he's been watching what's happening with robots all over the world. And Russia finally came up with their own robot, you know, the humanoid type walking robot. And they gave a demonstration of it for all of Russia to see. And, well, I'll show you what happened here. It's actually pretty funny. I'm picking this up from a channel called Russian Media Monitor, so I'll give kudos to Russian Media Monitor for what you're seeing here. And this is basically what's happening here. So watch this, check this out here. And
Друзья, вы меня извините, я вот нахожусь в состоянии...
pardon me, my
легкой
friends, I'm in a state of light fury.
Вчера
For some reason,
зачем-то в
yesterday
нашей
in our
стране
country, there was a
состоялась
presentation of a
презентация
humanoid robot.
человекоподобного робота. Слушайте, кого
Listen,
пытают... вот
simply explain it to
просто
me.
объясните,
What are
что
you
вы
doing?
творите, а? Ну вот что вы творите? Зачем?
What are you doing and what
Компания
for?
создана недавно, и поэтому
This company was to show it off here and there.
мы тут,
They
там,
took it off to show it.
как здорово.
So tremendous. Money was
Деньги
already
выделены
allocated.
уже.
I can't
Матом
use curse
говорить
words,
нельзя, но очень
but
много,
so you
чтобы было всем
understand,
понятно. И вот
it
под
was a lot
музыку
of.
Рокки
Here, to the
выводят на
music from
сцену
Rocky,
русского
they bring out the
человека,
onstage
айдола.
Russian man idol.
С ним идут
Two guys are
двое
accompanying
парней,
him.
и он,
Oh,
короче говоря,
and it
нахрен
falls down. Falls the heck down. What the heck is going on?
Его поднимают
They
также
pick him up
под музыку
to the same
и
music.
уводят.
Look
Уже
at-
трое. И что главное,
3 people
скорее,
drag him off.
давайте ему материал.
Look at, they can't even pull the black
Это
thing out there.
снимался
It's so
фильм
ridiculous.
о том, как
Look at,
своровать
can't even bring the
государевы
shield
или
up properly. How to
частные
steal the
деньги.
government's
Вот это
money or
всё
private
было
money.
о чём.
What was this all about?
Вот этот бесконечный позор.
What is this? Some endless shame all about. Meanwhile, so you don't have any illusions.
Параллельно с этим
Simultaneously, Chinese
китайские
comrades,
товарищи, я не беру Илона
not
Маска,
even to mention
который
Elon
в конце
Musk,
года или там в середине
who's
года
promising an army of 1
обещает
million humanoid
миллионную армию
robots by the
гуманоидов.
middle of next year or by the end of next year.
Я просто
I'm at a loss
от
for words.
ненависти, знаете,
Because of
слова
my
исчезают.
hatred.
Значит, гуманоидных
These
роботов,
humanoid robots will be able to do everything.
которые будут делать все. Китай показал
China
следующее
showcased the
изделие.
following
Я
creation.
сейчас перешлю.
Let me send it over
Чтобы можно
so I can
было
show
вам
it to
всем
all of
показать.
you.
Показал
He's pissed
следующее
off.
изделие. Вот посмотрите.
Here, take a look. The Chinese have presented a new humanoid robot
Нового человекоподобного робота.
since it appeared to be actually
И
a
так как
person.
возникло ощущение, что это на самом деле человек, то
They
решили
decided to
показать,
show
что
off what's
внутри.
inside.
Ему сейчас срезают все вокруг. Ну, ему срезают, чтобы показать людям на самом деле, что нет, это действительно
This is truly a
это
humanoid.
гуманоид. Не под музыку Рокки, русскую
They didn't
народную.
play Russian folk music from Rocky. They didn't use old Russian idol. They cut it off to demonstrate it.
Показали. Вот так это выглядит.
This is what it looks like.
感谢工作人员，请大家下台。
Спасибо, Аллан, спасибо всем, кто здесь, спасибо. И вот, значит, ты можешь по-прежнему идти, спрашивают
Can you still go?
человекоподобного робота,
And it walked.
и он идет.
It's the PRC,
Это Китайская Народная Республика.
where they
где
execute
воровство
people
государственных денег
for stealing
расстреливают,
government's money.
а счет
They send the
выставляют
bill for the bullet spent on his
за
execution
пулю, потраченное на казнь семье.
to the family of the thief of the government's money.
Скажите,
It's funny how he
мы
describes
можем
that.
сравнить походку двух роботов?
Can we compare the gait of these two robots?
Нахрена вы это делаете?
Why the heck are you doing this?
Вот просто
Just
объясните,
explain it to me.
зачем вы
Why do you
устроили
cause this
этот
shame before
позор
the whole
на
world?
весь мир?
You do, yeah, Russia. You
Зачем?
can't even do anything right.
Кто это сделал?
Russia can't do anything. It's like a lot. A market source told RA the cost of the idol. Look at it. It's falling.
Может составлять от 100 до
300 million
300
rubles. Oh my God.
миллионов рублей.
100 and 300 million rubles. That's like between 1 million and 3 million.
Вы зачем выползли на сцену?
Why did you crawl up on stage?
Вот этот позор вы
Why did you
показали.
showcase
Зачем?
this shame?
Уровня детской игрушки.
It's on the level
Еще
of
и
a child's
цену
toy.
откуда-то кто-то узнал. Ваша задача
falls
какая?
down. What is your
Скомпрометировать
goal?
всю российскую IT и
To discredit all of Russia's IT and robotics? We're at the very beginning of this path.
Конкуренты в этот момент.
Meanwhile, your
делают
competition is
следующее.
doing the
Так,
following.
выбираем.
I'm looking up Musk and robots.
Роботы.
What a shame.
Ну, давайте.
Let's watch. This was in November 7th.
7 ноября. Так. Вот это что-то.
Oh, look, it's dancing. There, look at Musk robot. Not falling down.
Это робот
Optimus.
Оптимус Илона Маска. Вот так, да? Так, а-та-та-та-та-та. Трам-пам-пушки, трам-папа. Он танцует.
He calls it Trump
И вот через
Pampuski.
несколько дней тот же самый робот. Все видно, да?
He hates Trump.
Притом, заметьте, музыки под Rocky нет.
No music from
Нет
Rocky, not
людей,
necessary.
идущих рядом.
There are no
Правда?
people
Это
walking
ничего
next to him.
нет.
Nope. It's just all on its own. This thing is like fantastic. It's just a funny man, Elon Musk.
Который
shows
показывает,
what the
что
robot can
вытворяет
do.
его робот. И вот теперь на поле боя.
Now on the battlefield, they meet Elon Musk robot, the Chinese robot, and Idol.
Робот Илона Маска, китайский робот и Айдол. Ну, во-первых,
First of all,
сразу
it will
будет
be
заметно,
immediately
что
obvious.
Айдола должны сопровождать
Because Idol
два
has to be
человека в
accompanied by
воде,
2 people.
которые должны голову
They have to
Айдола
hold
держать, так как он нахрен падает. И рядом танцующий робот Илон Маск.
Next to him is Elon Musk dancing robot.
То есть он может станцевал.
He
И
can
идет
dance.
миллион будет, понимаете? Миллион. И будет он стоить.
It will cost less. Yeah, like 30,000 compared to a million. Elon Musk's army of robots. Comprehensive production will start by the end of 26.
26 года. Станет годом Терминатора.
It will come the year of the Terminator.
Планы Тесла по созданию миллионной армии человекоподобных роботов.
1 million humanoid Optimus robots.
Но красота же.
Isn't it beautiful?
Конечно, красота.
Of course it is.
И мы,
And then there's us.
которые
We brought out our army of robots. That dirtbag went down.
Чего делать будем?
What are we going to do?
Да
Nothing.
ничего.
Why would we do anything?
Что делать? Главное же музыка и презентация.
That's
Если это
funny.
была задача дискредитации, справились великолепно.
Discreditation.
А если какая-то
They've succeeded
другая
marvelously.
задача?
I don't know what it was. I really don't know. Dirtbag. He gets pissed off.
Молодцы.
Well done.
Молодцы.
Well done.
При массовом выпуске цена одного робота должна составить 20 тысяч
20,000, which is 2 million rubles.
2 миллиона рублей. Я правильно понимаю? Я беру даже по 100. Так?
How much is 20,000? 2 million rubles. That's for the Musk robot.
Сколько миллионов рублей? 2? Но в этот же самый момент мы с вами, может быть,
At the same
уверены,
time, you can be certain
что
that
российский
crappy Russian falling robot,
наш,
our
кстати, не
own,
полностью, продается не за
won't be sold for
какие-то
2 million rubles. No.
2 миллиона рублей. Ха! Он будет стоить так, чтобы вам мало не показалось.
It'll cost so
От
much that you won't
100
think it's
миллионов
true.
рублей.
Starting at 100 million rubles.
Вот это настоящий
It's a
прорыв.
breakthrough.
Настоящий.
A real breakthrough.
Чтобы вам всем не показалось, что
On the market.
от 100 до 300
It'll cost between 100 million to 300 million rubles.
миллион долларов.
$1 million versus 20,000.
И 20 тысяч. Нормалды?
Normal? Oi.
А тем временем робот
Meanwhile, here is Elon Musk Kung Fu robot.
Илона
Check
Маска,
this out. Kung
который
Fu,
встречается с нашим,
who will meet with our idol.
который падает просто от самого вида американского робота.
It'll fall apart just from seeing the American robot. It'll fall
А если у
down.
нас все
Look at
наши
Idol.
технические разработки
From last
находятся
time.
на таком же уровне, как в Западе,
Idol, coming to get you. Oh,
когда в нашей стране будут
when will
посадки
imprisonments happen in our country? This is my only question. Good morning, country.
Доброе утро, страна. Значит, мы показываем какое-то самоходное
We are
оружие,
showing off some self-propelled weapon, an amazingly ugly moving
которое
forward.
якобы
This is supposedly
необитаемое,
unmanned.
калибр 122 миллиметра, способное
It has a caliber of 122.
выстрела,
It's firing 4
и
shots.
оно
He's showing off some other
укатывается
stuff here.
обратно. Я вот на это смотрю и думаю, вот люди, которые на это потратили деньги, которые этим занимались, они вообще о чем?
Spent money on it. What are they all
Они
about?
вот это придумали, что это сейчас будет
It'll only fire
выкатываться?
4 shots. Kale, he's talking about a different item here now. He's gone into a different show here now. But anyways, I thought that was funnier than hell when I saw that. That one there is a channel that I actually watch quite a bit, which is called Russian Media Monitor. And they typically come up with bits off of their television network in Russia. And they featured this guy that we just saw, and he has guests that come on there. And they love talking about the war and stuff like that. So, you know, he's really always pissed off at Trump. Right? He doesn't like stuff that Trump does. They call Trump out. Actually, you know, sometimes I feel like replaying some of the stuff that they put on their show there. But, you know, I don't go live enough to show a lot of the stuff that I've seen. But there's lots of stuff that's pretty funny. But you can tell that, you know, he's really pissed off at these people that manufactured this robot. Typical Russian technology, where it's a piece of crap, piece of garbage, doesn't work as it's supposed to, and it's just, you know, it's something that falls flat on its face on the floor. Okay, just hang on, I got somebody bugging me here. Okay, yeah, we're back here again. Young one just wants to go out and throw the ball somewhere there, basketball. And it's a nice day to go out there and do something like that. Not super nice day, as you can see, nice enough behind me there. Still got a bit of sun here. It's 3:26 in the afternoon here right now. And yeah, it's kind of a nice day here today. MJ says a drunk robot. Yeah, I think it's a drunk robot. It's something weird, you know. And I know that when I saw that, I thought that's funnier than hell. I bet some lonely engineer has already tried making love to that robot. Yeah, I bet somebody's already lost his job, gotten fired, and sent to whatever the far north gulag or something over putting that on the air there and not having the thing actually working before they showed it off. And they apparently had it going off to some kind of Rocky type music or something. That I don't know if it was the Russian version of Rocky or the American version of Rocky or whatever. But yeah, pretty funny stuff there. It looked like a robot though, you know, like that part of it they got right. But as far as getting it to actually stand up and walk, well, that's a different thing. But if they're going to be sending that thing out to the front line, yeah, not all that great. I don't think it's not going to be working well out on the front line. Give it an HJ. Drunk robot. That's what it kind of looked like. Robots are strong. It may snatch it off you and hand it to you. Yeah. Careful what you do with the robot. 3 laws of robotics as ethical code. Yeah, that was a funny one. Troy in there. Hey, Troy, good to see you. Funny stuff. Rule number 4, eye contact. You've got to put a lot of thought into that. Yeah, I'm getting some sun right here coming into my... I've got the blinds down here, but there's a little bit, just a wee bit of sun coming through that window, which is kind of weird, onto my face here. So it's giving me a kind of a white Hitler mustache here. What the hell? Why is it appearing right there? I can't believe that. But anyways, the sun is coming in the window right over there and right onto my face here, causing a bit of drama here. I'm a dreamer. I'm a believer. Tyson Hook in there. How about Trump welcoming the Syria leader that's a former Al-Qaeda terrorist to visit the White House? Oh, really? Well, how about the city of Calgary putting up a Palestine flag in front of the city hall there or something like that? That was the other big thing going on there. I saw that in the news with the Palestinian. Well, Canada, wanted to be friends with Palestine there. So, all that kind of stuff is happening. I think it was Canada, Australia, and the UK or something wanted to recognize Palestine and to, be more friendly with them. Anyhow, where's the crowd? Where's the family? Where's all the friends out there? Okay, well, that was a funny bit there with the Rocky, the robot, their idol. Idol, they call it the idol. Try and steal everything. Why couldn't it be like a Russian name instead of all in English, idol? If you notice that, it should have been, Lada or something like that. Lada 2.0. Might have been a better name for it. I don't know. FAFO and smash that like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, you bet. Get going with that. What's wrong with the Palestine flag? That's Edward Cam. No, I think that in Canada, in front of city halls, they should just stick to the province flag, the city flag, and the country flag, and leave it at that. And not be putting up some kind of LGBTQ flags and flags of other countries or whatever. Like, what? The Palestinian flag, that's not a Canadian flag. What are they trying to do? Put it up in front of the Calgary City Hall. But they're going to try and, somebody's going to bring in some bylaw or something to make it so that, hey, you put certain flags up there and other flags are just plain not allowed. Something like that. Why are my comments being removed, railroaded? I don't know. I'm not seeing that happen. But on the other hand, I'm looking at StreamYard here. I'm not looking at my exact stream. So I don't know if somebody's removing your comments, if you're being timed out. Usually if you get a timeout, then you get your comments removed. But don't time out anybody, any mods out there. Ask me first if you're going to time anyone out or do anything like that. Oh, as a matter of fact, I should look at my channel here and just see who in my settings. Let me hit settings here and go into community moderation and user management, and let me just check and see who is hidden. No Diggity is hidden. Let's see, I'll just bust him out. Let's see who else. Robert Sinclair. I'm not sure why he's in there. Gulf of Claude is in there. Bad Broccoli is in there. I'll just leave him in there. Static. I'm not sure why Static is in there. I'll let him out. AMC Kingdom, get him out of there. Joe is in there. Let's see, FBI Frosty, Bad Broccoli is in there. Crime in America is in there. I'm getting all these people out of there. Barbaric Frosty is in there. Let's see. Stevich, not sure who that is. Oh, there's lots of people in here. Bajorn Bear, Danny Wayne, Beaver Squad, CPS, Christmas Pickle Support. What the heck is that? Okay, so I have left a few people in the tank, but I have busted a bunch of people out there. So I don't have that many people in the tank there right now. If anyone is being really, really super, super obnoxious, well, I guess they can go back in there again. But just for now, I just gave a quick check to see who's banned. Now, I didn't ban any of those people myself, but that was the mods that banned them. So not sure why they got banned, but anyways, a few of them are back out there again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Timmy is going to be thrilled. Well, he's one person that has complained to me over on X, because he can comment to people or send people whatever little notes or whatever over on X, and Crime in America has said to me, "Hey, who's putting me in the tank? How come I'm in the tank? Whatever." So you guys are apparently doing that. So don't do that. That would be the best thing. Can we get Masad in there? Repent for the time is near. Yeah, let's all repent. Okay, make sure you're a good person, because you never know when things are gonna go sideways. You know. For those of you new in the stream here, this is my camera, which is a live camera pointed out at the lake here. I'm at the lake house here today, and I'll actually be able to put this video. Live stream it even when I'm in Edmonton, because I have the stream available to me online, so that I can use it either at this location or at my other Edmonton location with my streaming setup. And it is Sylvan Lake out there. Right now, as you can see, there's no boats out there. It's just pretty cold out there. There was a little bit of snow on the ground this morning when I woke up. And the waves were actually kind of lapping up there quite a bit. There was quite a bit of wind there this morning, but it's kind of died down a little bit. You can see the trees right over here aren't moving right now, but earlier these things were swaying quite a bit in the wind. So anyways, that's a live video of what it's like right out here. The sun is starting to go down. It's 3:35. In about 1 hour, the sun will be down, and then this goes to kind of a black and white picture, and you can see at nighttime over in this area here, where there's houses along the shore here. You can see a few lights on from some of the houses over here, and sometimes you can get some nice vertical reflections off of the lake there. So it's kind of a pretty view at nighttime. So we'll be putting that on if I'm streaming at nighttime there as well. I don't have a lot of music here at all for background or anything like that. Just hang on a second here. Maybe under media or something here, I might have some music. What is it? Sound. A soul. Confucius say, man with hand in pocket feel cocky all day. Aha, there we go. Okay, where's our background music? We need some background music in here. Feeding the ducks. Sounds like a good one. There we go. Okay, there's our little background music for the stream. It's not like my normal show where I have my own theme song and stuff like that. So we'll just have to go with what StreamYard offers us here. Mogul. A good possibility he's on the list. What list? Trump pardon. Yeah, I'm not in the States. I'm in Canada here. I'm like pro Alberta separation, Alberta independence, Alberta whatever it is. And I know on some of the other shows, some people are saying, hey, well, Tommy, why don't you do a show on separation or on independence, Alberta independence? And I don't know what to say about it, you know. Hey, I'd like to see the province become independent. And short of that, I don't know too much about it, other than there's some kind of a vote that this Tommy Lesisek is coming up with. So when that happens, we'll have a vote. But at the moment, it's not going to happen. We're not getting any pipelines, you know, so that part of it is kind of hanging a little bit. We're a little bit pissed off here in Alberta. Yeah, that Epstein list, there was some kind of a vote or something going on. Was it with the Senate or something where they were going to vote on releasing that Epstein list? I don't know where that has come or where that has gotten to, where it's at right now. I know there's some kind of speculative tie-in between Trump and the Epstein thing. There's also some kind of a speculative tie-in between Carney's wife and his wife's sister or something like that. And there's pictures of Carney, his wife, and Griswold, or whatever her name is, there, Epstein's cohort there, Griswold. So there's stuff like that going on there. You know, I've been hearing some rumors about that until somebody really says, yeah, we have 100% evidence because we have access to these Epstein files and the book and all the rest of this stuff. We know that, you know, these guys are all friends, but whether or not they were all involved in the dastardly deeds that were apparently going on there, who knows for sure. I don't know if we'll ever know. We'll have to just find out about that. Ghislaine, yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. Ghislaine. Thanks a lot for spelling it correctly for me. HawkTube to the rescue. Can't beat that. Yeah, I can't argue with science. Oh yeah, what about the net zero? Oh man, I can't believe Carney and all of his net zero bullshit and all of this carbon capture. It's all going to companies that he has dibs in, and it's going to enrich Carney because of the stock options and all the rest of the shit that he's got going on there. And he's trying to just funnel money out of the oil industry into the so-called carbon credits and all the rest of this bullshit. And most other countries that have gotten involved with it and have seen what it's all about are now going, no, we don't want to have anything to do with this net zero crap. There are a few countries still involved with it, but there are lots that have already pulled out, and they go, no net zero. Like, you know, hey, the USA is a good example where they're just going, no, this climate stuff that's going on, we just want to pull out of that completely and just drill, baby, drill. And that's really what we should be doing here. Let's sell as much oil as we can while it's still a commodity that people want. And you know, you got these people, these naysayers that are going, oh yeah, we're at peak oil, and from this point on, demand for oil is just going to go downhill, down. Yeah, you've got, and when's it going to happen? Next year, because everyone's going to be driving an electric vehicle. Oh yeah, right. Well, I don't believe that. And I think that even in 2050, oil will still be in demand because you'll be using oil for other products. You may not be fueling your vehicle with it, but you'll be using the bitumen and producing, you know, all kind of different products from it to produce all the plastics and things that we need for all of the little widgets and stuff like that you're going to be making with your 3D printer and whatever. You know, like that kind of stuff is going to be happening here. Edward Cam says, I wish the government worked as hard to protect the victims as they are the perpetrators. See, Edward Cam, aren't you lucky that I treat, left-wingers like yourself, with respect, and that I don't just tie me out there for just saying, some little thing in my chat. Like left-wingers here get away with an awful lot, right? Even Dean Wall there. You go over into Ryan Jesperson's and you try and say some crap about me over there. Those pics were proven to be fakes. I don't know if that's the truth, Dean Wall. The Giswald, or Ghislaine, I should say, the Ghislaine pic with Carney and his wife, proven to be fakes. I don't know. I don't know if that is or not. You know what? Why doesn't Carney come out and address it then? It's just like Trudeau. Remember when there were allegations made about why he left the school that he was teaching at in the middle of season? Because there were allegations that there was something going on between him and the students. And he never said anything about it. He never said one way or the other. He never said exactly what was going on. So, by not saying something, you're not clearing yourself. You're actually just making it seem more likely that something was happening and there was something going on. It's like me. You guys come up with this fake thing. Remember, you guys came up with that fake thing about me. What the hell was it now? Something about some website that I posted some pictures or something on some website, and I categorically denied that ever happened. Right? And it's like you guys continuously talking about, some sovereign outfit that I'm apparently a member of. And I categorically deny that I'm a member of any club, group, or, association at all. Like, really, I'm not part of any group at all. I'm just me, Tommy Temper. I'm just a guy doing my own thing, and I don't go to club meetings or attend rallies or stuff like that with any group of people. I used to go to a lot of rallies in the past, and in the past I would go to a rally for a certain subject, and there would be groups of people that would show up at a rally. Yeah, absolutely. So, but am I part of the group that shows up at a rally? No, obviously not. And that's where Antifa and people like that see that, and then they put a story together making it seem like you're part of some group that you're not. And I am not part of any group at all. I never was a part of a group. It's just like you guys say, well, I'm not Antifa, because Antifa is not a group and Antifa is not a thing, But, but you'll go out and, fly an Antifa flag or whatever, Put it this way. If I see you dressed up as Black Bloc and hanging out with a bunch of guys that are flying an Antifa flag, you're probably part of the Antifa organization. And you go, well, it's not an organization. Yeah, well, okay, well, tell somebody else, but not me. There, Ghislaine Maxwell will be pardoned before the end of Trump's term. Yeah, probably. Well, I don't think she's a good person. Her hanging out with Epstein and the allegations that were going on there with Epstein is not great. Kim in there in the house. Hey, thanks. Welcome to the stream there, Kim. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Hopefully you're doing well. Content Explorer in there. Prince Andrew is toast. Yeah, he's been involved with that whole bit there as well. Prince Andrew. So yeah, Content Explorer, good to see you in there. Excellent. Getting some new people in the chat here. Oh Lord, me and Honk on the same wavelength. Isn't that something weird? Does Prince lose his inheritance? Yeah, I don't know. I know I saw that where he kind of got kicked out of the house. He doesn't have dibs on the wherever he was staying, the residence. He got kicked out of there, and maybe he did lose his inheritance. I don't know. Well, inheritance is different though, because it's like from one person to another person. You know what I mean? So it's not like being kicked out of the house because the royal family or whatever deserves to have a certain accommodation. You know what I mean? But an inheritance would be from a person. So if it's from the king of England, he can decide whether or not he gives an inheritance to somebody else. And I don't know that they've actually said whether or not he gets that. Seller to a Saudi prince. Yeah. Dubai toilet, Gislin. Tommy's offshore accounts in limbo. Yeah, exactly. Where did the Ent wives go? The Ent's wives are in Tolkien's material. Male tree shepherds don't have wives in the books. Not in the books, anyways. But Dean Wall, welcome to the chat here. You're more than welcome. See, I don't necessarily boot you out of here, but you know, you guys don't need to be talking mean about me anywhere. Like I'm just a guy having a bit of fun on the internet here, enjoying my life out here at the lake, mostly taking it easy, and you know, just doing my own thing. Watching a little bit of Antifa over at ICE. Those have been my streams. Some of my last streams have been actually pretty good with the ICE stuff going on there in Portland, Oregon. And it's kind of, I was watching it last night, and I was going to go live there last night and do some ICE stuff there, but it didn't look like things were really happening. It was kind of low key, as you might say. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. There you go. I have that button pressed, or the wrong button pressed on this stream here. So I wasn't watching carefully as to what was going on. I had this or whatever on there. You can set this up differently here. So yeah, having it like this is how it actually should be. But what's neat here is that I can look at my vertical and my horizontal stream. Oh, okay. Look at, now that I'm looking at my vertical stream, I can see that I have to be right in the middle of it here. The only thing is my, where it says Tommy Temper Show is not showing up correctly at the bottom of the vertical stream there, from what I can see. 35 people watching. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate that. Get your news from BitChute. Got Nightbot in there. Edward Cam, Appalachian women use natural dyes, lichen patterns, and local camouflage. Tricks from hunting, weaving, and rural craft. FetLife, yeah, Dean Wall. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, FetLife. I never once ever went to that website. Like, I know, like, you know, from you guys bullshitting about it, I know what it is approximately about, but I never even went to the website, never mind made an account or made some postings on it. But, you know, that's how rumors spread, is that somebody else does something that incriminates you, and then other people latch onto it, and Antifa sees it, and Antifa makes a post about you on antihate.ca. There's some, you know, stupid website like that, and then some other website pulls it from there and makes another post about it, and then it's spread all over the internet, and that's how it works. You know, I'm not too concerned that crap like that happens. You know, short of if anyone ever sues antihate.ca, let me know, because I want to get in on a class action. Okay, how about that? I would say that. Brett. Where is Brett? I never saw Brett in here. We saw his cohort in here, ex-cohort. Brett and Queenie protect Tommy's empire. That's funny. I haven't seen Brett around lately. Last time he came in here, he got into a super chat war with a few people in here. So, a Magnum condom. Jeez. Pooh scissors. You got sex on the brain there. Cokehead. Yeah, probably. Big eggplant. I don't have an eggplant. But I did have a tomato and ham sandwich. Oh yeah, what was that other thing that children at schools are being advised by a teacher? I don't know if this is fake or not, but some teacher sent notes home with their children saying that the children should not be packing a ham sandwich when they come to school. Oh man. Like, what next? You can't bring a ham sandwich to school. First it's like peanut butter. You can't have peanut butter sandwiches, and now you can't pack a ham sandwich when you go to school anymore. It's like, what's this world coming to? All the good things. No more bacon sandwiches. BLT. No BLTs to school. Can't do it. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Yeah, I know. Don't waste your money on crap that you don't need. I'll tell you that right now. Only buy what you need, not what you want. Keep that want list right down. Like, especially if you go somewhere like a flea market or something and somebody's selling some crappy little thing that they made that won't do you any good. Like, don't waste your money on it. Because it's not going to do you any good. The guy with the 13.5, the aborter. That's very, very, very rare. And women don't like that. I've talked to enough women to know that if it's too big, it's probably too big. And most are not going to like it. Sure, there may be the odd one that will like it, but most are going to go, no, that's a little bit too big. You know what I mean? How great Trump is. I don't know. I haven't really been following Trump too much lately. He's been meeting up with a lot of, people from other countries. He's been making deals and whatever. And short of that, I don't know. I haven't really been watching too much American politics lately to know how great Trump is. I don't know that he's doing great things at the moment. He's already done what he did, which is bring those tariffs up on products from other countries so that Americans will set up shop, within their own country to produce the items within the States and not have to buy them from other countries. Like, he's pretty much decimated the auto industry in Canada. And, they're all moving back to the States there. So, his tariffs worked. They worked, as far as I'm concerned, they worked immensely well for the United States. He's bringing a lot of jobs. Let's face it, it's jobs, right? An economy of a country is all about jobs. It's not about immigrants. And, in Canada, we think, if you bring a whole bunch of immigrants in, we're going to have a great country. No, that's not how it works. Because what you're doing is you're bringing a whole bunch of people that are not necessarily working, but they're hanging on to our welfare system and our health system, getting free health care, free welfare, free place to live, free food on their plate, and who's paying for that? The taxpayers. So that's actually a burden. Bringing in a whole bunch of immigrants is a burden on your economy. But on the other hand, what Trump is doing is he's rounding up all of those illegal immigrants and putting up in front of a judge, and then the judge is saying, you know what, the law says that you need to go back home and apply properly to get into the country. So he's doing that, which is kind of, lowering the amount of people that are in the country, but he's also, with the tariffs, bringing the jobs back to the United States. Okay? We're not doing that up here in Canada. All we're doing is just bringing more and more people in here And sure, there's no problem with them getting a job working at a low key type of Tim Hortons or whatever, something like that, you know. But it doesn't appear to be a lot of doctors and lawyers and people like that are coming into the country and are, starting up businesses and things like that are increasing. As a matter of fact, in Canada last month, I think the number of jobs went up, but they were all part-time jobs. None of the jobs were full-time jobs. In fact, the number of full-time jobs actually went down. Okay, and the number of part-time jobs went up. So that's not a good situation at all. We're just relying on people, on low-end jobs, right, is what's happening. Part-time jobs are usually not high-end jobs. It's not, working in a factory making anything, because those are all full-time type jobs. But part-time jobs, yeah, you could be a janitor or, a dishwasher or somebody, an order taker at a restaurant or whatever, stuff like that. When abortion was banned, he got a lot of business. When will Venezuela get attacked? Yeah, well, aren't they shooting down those boats, the drug-running boats there on the ocean? I don't know if they've actually gone right into the country to do anything there. But yeah, Trump is really doing something with that. I need an adult beverage, yeah. Besides, don't talk me into it. See, I think I might have something here too. Maybe I will try something. I haven't had a drink since the last time I went on the air, you know that? And it was that bottle that my wife had in the fridge of some kind of peach wine or something there. Sparkling wine. And that was pretty good. Yeah, maybe I might go and find something. Peace president committing casual war crimes off the coast of Venezuela. Well, is it a war crime, or is he taking out those drug what do you call them, cigar boats, transporting drugs and stuff like that? Apparently that, that's the reason that he's over there, trying to take the drugs out before they reach America. You know what? And we're also producing a lot of drugs up here in Canada. Like, really, the number of stories that I'm seeing with these cartels coming up here to Canada, and then they obtain the precursors from China to, manufacture fentanyl, meth, like you name it, whatever kind of drug there is there. Watching replay, Marcia Yeatman in there on Facebook. Good to see you. Whoop, whoop. Big ups to you. Watching the replay. Oh, okay, so you're starting from the beginning of the show. Yeah, well, you'll like the Russian robot section there. That was actually pretty good. Al Munson in the house. White people love ham sandwiches. Al, gee whiz. We were talking about you. I was talking about you with a friend of mine. And really, honestly, it's not about color. Like, come on. It's not, okay, whatever color you are, I don't even know what color you are, right? But it's the world doesn't revolve around the color of people, okay? When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, who am I going to call racist today, or who am I going to call a white supremacist today, or who am I going to call I don't know what a black thing would be, member of the, I don't know, some black or BLM or something. Okay, I don't really care about stuff like that. The world goes on without me having to call somebody down or call somebody a name or whatever. White supremacist, whatever. But like for you, it's like you just live for stuff like that. You gotta chill out. One of these days you're gonna chill out. I don't know if you ever will, Al. But, we're all human beings on this planet Earth here. And it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It really doesn't. They could ban watermelons, and then you'd be complaining and going, oh, that's racist or whatever, Come on already. Who gives a shit? Life goes on. So chill out there, Al. Turkey bacon. Yeah, exactly. I heard they don't like turkey either. White bread, mayo, ham slices, white folk comfort food. Actually, I had a ham sandwich today, and it was on brown bread. It was kind of, that whole wheat with, I don't know how many, like 14 different grains or something mixed in with it. So that's actually the kind of bread that I had there today with my ham sandwich. Yeah, it looked like a ham sandwich, yeah. Yeah, I know. My lighting in here is extremely white here today. I've got 4 of these big monitors right in front of me here. And, the super widescreen monitors. I got really nice setup here. You got to see it, like monitor here, monitor there, and monitor there. And they have white light coming off of them because I've kind of put a blind up here by the window. So my face is being lit up by the white monitors here. So I'm appearing a little bit white here today. But don't worry about it. It's only the internet. Tommy got kicked off market for streaming. Yeah, I got kicked out of the flea market once there for streaming in the flea market. And, one guy let me stream in there, and then some other lady was running the flea market one day, and then I got kicked out of there. Hang on here. Let me just get my camera up here a little bit higher. Just zoom it up here a little bit. Here we go. Okay, I got this new mic stand here. Look at this thing is perfect. My other one that I had in here, it had like knuckles on it that when you tighten them, it just was stiffer than that girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend. But this thing here is just going up. No, actually, it's a guy, not a girl. But this one here is beautiful. Like, look at this. It moves all over the place, and you can put it right to where you're actually talking. And these microphones, by the way, I've explained this to you before. You see these guys with these mics all the time, and they sit like this, and they go, and they do their whole podcast talking like this across the microphone or like this. But this is not how you talk into this. What it is like, girls know all about this. You got to just get right into it, into the front of it like this. So, or some of you guys over there on Troll Central, you know all about this here too. You got to really get into the front end of that mic, and that's the way to do it. And then you hear how you get more bass response out of the mic, and it's more fullness. And that's how these mics are designed. And it really pisses me off when I see people like this. They're going, yeah, I'm doing my whole stream like this and talking like that, and the mic is over there somewhere. Even if it's right in front of you, it still sounds like garbage, right? You got to get right into that sucker. And so you got to have it on a stand like this where you can grab onto it and just move it around and just get in and out with that thing there whenever you need to. You know what I mean? Okay, dude's talking about dick is such a boomer thing. Rye bread. Yeah, I don't know. Multigrain is what I was talking about. Al, what do you guys think about Trump's, slobbing Clintons? No. Yeah, well, Clinton's going to pull out his old cigar there. Yeah, I don't know. Clinton was more into women, though. I don't know that he was into men. It may be, you might be talking about Trudeau, though. You should talk about Trudeau and Trump. Because didn't you hear that Trudeau's girlfriend has come out with something there? Or boyfriend, Trudeau's ex-boyfriend. There's something about him talking about Trudeau. And I don't know if I have that. I'll have to find it. But anyways, this is our new guy. He's known as Carbon Carney. Okay, this is Carbon Carney. Mark Carney. He's our new Prime Minister of Canada, and he's looking kind of pretty in this photo here. And do yourself a favor and follow this man today. Yeah, looking good, looking beautiful. He's got his poppy on there. I bought a poppy too. I actually have a poppy, but I left it in my car because I was driving there and it somehow caught on something and fell off. So I left it in the car there. But I did have a poppy, and I was going to wear it on stream here, but I didn't do a stream on the 11th. But that's our Prime Minister. Prime Minister Carney. He's the net zero guy, right? He thinks that that we're all going to die unless we give one of his corporations some money and tax credits and some crap like that. Like, the guy is actually a lunatic. I didn't vote for him. I certainly didn't vote for him. Now, Dean Wall, JFK, and the crew, the rest of the Canadian crew there, you guys voted for this guy, so shame on you. He hasn't made a deal with Trump yet, but he's got a nice hairdo. He's working on that hair more than anything. White bread, ham, margarine, and a pack of mustard. Inmate comfort food, yeah. Exactly. That's what you get when you're in jail. What do you know? What do you know? Trump's importing so much beef from Argentina. Oil, too. He should be doing oil. Well, I don't know what they've got a lot of oil down there, but it's being kept in the ground there. I think all their pipelines are rusted out or something because they went commie there, socialist. And it didn't work out well for them. Immigrants should be from Europe and Australia. Yeah, whatever happened to those immigrants? Trump is bringing in thousands of Chinese immigrants. No, where did you hear that from? I never heard that. But you never know. They might be coming in legally. At least they're not illegal. Nobody's illegal on stolen land. Did you hear about that? What's happening in British Columbia? Holy shit. It's like, okay, parts of Canada are on what's called unceded land. In other words, that are undeeded, where the natives did not make deals with the government. Okay, like for example, where I am here in Alberta, it's pretty well all land where there have been deals made with the natives. Okay, but in British Columbia and in other places like parts of Quebec and Eastern Canada, even like Prince Edward Island, there have been no deals made with any of the indigenous peoples. And now they're coming back and they're going, and this happened in the lower mainland of British Columbia, where a band, I think it's a Cowichan band, has put a legal thing forward, and they actually won the case where they're going, yeah, we hunted and we fished on that territory 100 years ago, so that's our land and we want it back. And they actually won it in court. A big section of Richmond, British Columbia. There's even an Amazon fulfillment building there, and a bunch of other farms and buildings and stuff like that, and homes. And this band is now got title to that land. And one of the guys on one of his houses there, he went to his mortgage company to try and renew his mortgage, and they wouldn't renew his mortgage, even though he's has owned the property for whatever 50 years or something. So it's actually a weird situation that's going on, and I don't know what's going to happen, but you could have all of British Columbia is unceded territory. So the natives could come back and take over that whole area, unless somebody does something about it, either at a crown, highest court level provincially, if it gets shot down or whatever, because there is an appeal that's happening in the court system, or if something happens at a Canadian court level, like at a federal level. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. But a low-level court has said, yeah, you can have title to that land. So now you've got the guy that bought the property whose name is on the title, and now you've got this Coetruan band that also has title to the property. So it's a screwball situation, but it is happening. And as a matter of fact, there's even an American native band that has said, we want dibs to some of that territory in Canada as well, because we hunted and fished and whatever was part of our culture 100 years ago. So yeah, it's kind of a tough situation that's going on here. Crazy. Nobody is illegal on stolen land. Well, in the case where you made a deal, well, in states it was a little bit different, because the government came in and just plain ran the natives off the territory and said, that's it, we'll go in the war with you, and now we won that territory and it's no longer your territory. So you got stuff like that happened in the States. In Canada, you have agreements that were made with the native populations for the land, where it was like, well, we're going to give you this, this, and this. If you give us this land, you get your reservation to do what you want on there, and we'll pay you for health care. And we actually pay them billions and billions of dollars. So they're not hard done by, that's for sure. But then you have other parts of Canada where there never was any agreement made with the native population. And that's what's happening in British Columbia now, where the natives are starting to fight them in court. And it's all with this UNDRIP. If you've ever heard of this UNDRIP thing, which came about by way of the globalists, right? Which it was like, well, native populations of the world need to have their territory back, is what that is kind of all about. And then you had this UNDRIP adopted by provinces and by federal areas, and now this UNDRIP is starting to be implemented. So it's pretty crazy. Jobs aren't coming back. Well, they are in the States. They will be. But just remember that how long does it take? Trump has only been in office for not even 1 year. You can't say, well, you're going to build a factory and start employing people in 6 months. It doesn't happen. So where he's bringing the jobs back, it's going to take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So you have to suffer the pain before the gain, right? Well, that's what tariffs are all about. Suffer the pain before the gain. You're going to have to pay more for items, for things, because you have more tariffs where you're going to have to pay more for those items in the States, but you will benefit by way of more jobs and then having those products produced within your own country. They might very well cost more being produced in your own country with the tariffs up, but you still have the jobs coming back to your country and the jobs within your own country. So don't think that it's a bad thing. The tariffs are actually a good thing. They are, they seem bad because of the pain that you have to suffer when they first happen. But, over a period of time, then they'll eventually bring more jobs back to you. Just for example, let's say that you were buying a lot of Canadian and Chinese steel, for example, and that your steel corporations in the States were all being shut down because you were being undercut by cheaper product from Canada, cheaper stuff from China, and even China was selling crap steel to Canada, and then the Canadians were saying, oh, that's Canadian steel, and now we're selling that cheap Chinese steel to you guys down there. And meanwhile, your steel companies are going broke in the States, right? Now, with the tariffs up, you can see that those corporations can get back in business again, and so you can start producing your own steel. Same thing with aluminum. They put tariffs up against softwood lumber. That's going to hurt you in your housing industry, because you're going to be spending more money on lumber to begin with. But hey, it's a renewable resource. You cut down a tree, you plant 2 new ones. Eventually those trees grow, and you're cutting that lumber down again. But if you're just buying your lumber from Canada, you're never going to, build up your own lumber industry to the point where you're able to supply all of your own lumber. So yeah, maybe you're hurting in the short term, and maybe the price of lumber has gone up in the States. Meanwhile, we're up here in Canada, our lumber companies are shutting down. It's not like we don't have trees. We have trees. But if you cut down the tree, you've got nowhere to sell it to, because we can only absorb a certain amount of lumber up here in Canada ourselves, because we can only build so many houses and whatever. So what's happening up here is the lumber companies are shutting down, and it's giving you guys, even though you've got maybe higher lumber prices, and because of less Canadian lumber on your market down there, and also if your own country or companies rather are unable to manufacture enough lumber or bring it on board, then you're going to see prices go up, right? Because of a lack of supply and a high demand for the product. So just keep that in mind. That's the way it goes. Why does Canada have a homeless crisis? Because of too many immigrants, obviously. That's not a no-brainer. Absolutely a no-brainer. You have too many people coming into the country, not enough houses for people to live in, and not enough jobs. That's it in a nutshell. And call me a racist for saying it. Trudeau, he called people racist. He stood up there and called people a racist for talking about immigration, because he was bringing in so many people, harming our economy. And anytime anyone wanted to talk about it, go, you're a racist. You're a racist for talking about immigration. Oh, you don't like immigrants, or you don't like certain people from a certain country. And people, you guys think of me like that as well. You think that I'm somehow some kind of a racist for talking about immigration. No, I'm going to talk about it because Trudeau specifically didn't want me to talk about it. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to talk about it because of that. It's a thing where we're inundated by too many people, and it's gotten out of hand, gotten absolutely out of hand. To the point that in Edmonton, going to a Costco store, for example, and I actually took the time out of my day to actually make a number count on it. And 1 out of 10 people was a old stock Canadian at the Costco store. 1 out of 10 people. And the other 9 people were not speaking English. You'd see a family walk by you, blah, 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 some other language. And another family walk by you, blah, 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 and not speaking English. So 9 out of 10 people at the Costco store were not even speaking English. Okay? And I would consider somebody that's a Canadian to be probably speaking English. Right? If you come to a country and it's primarily either French or English, and Quebec is French, the rest of Canada is English, hopefully that the people that come here are going to, adopt the culture and speak the language. But that's not the way it's happening. It's not happening like that at all. The politically correct term is brown-collar jobs, Pooh Scissors. Don't be racist. Now you're being racist. I don't want to be racist at all. I think it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, but at least speak the language. Speak the language. If you're going to go to the States, speak English, If it's in English, it is your primary language, and you're going to go around the place there. But, you know, hey, you guys are going to say, well, no, we got Spanish as well. I don't know. States is a little bit different than up here. Crazy. I'm a little bit behind on the chat here, so criminal and sexual predator. Oh, my God. You got the Trump haters in here. Unbelievable. Yeah, but just don't call me names. Leave me out of the whole thing. I'm just a commentator on the whole thing. You guys know that. Santos. Be the bridge, right? That's right. Be the bridge for humanity. But just remember that countries have borders, okay? So, you know, don't beat down that wall. It is true, yeah. White people do love ham sandwiches. Yeah, well, why not? Why is it a white people thing? I didn't, in fact, up until right now, and on this stream, I didn't realize that the ham sandwich is a white people thing. You know, I know that it's more of a North American thing. You know, George Santos, barometer for the GOP. Which country is the largest producer of fentanyl? Yeah, I want to see the answer to that one. I can't help. Oh, come on. You know the answer is Canada. Illicit production spans many countries. General info. Yeah, it's, you see, Nightbot is being lefty brainwashed there, I think. Where chatbot, Chat GPT is a little bit lefty, I think. You know what I mean? Town crier Jen de Leon. Hey Jen, what's up? What's up? Half the vendors at that flea market are selling boosted or counterfeit merchandise. Yeah, I think so. Let me see. How's my chat coming in here? Oh yeah, my mic is not too bad. I'm not overdriving it here. Although it's cranked up fairly high. There we go. Synthetic. Often from Mexico, China. Yeah, right. It doesn't even say anything about Canada. Well, it's manufactured all over the place. There's no doubt about that. But it is being manufactured in Canada, 100% for sure. They've already taken down a few of these, and it doesn't take much. It can be one house. You're manufacturing a whole bunch of it in one house. Literally thousands and thousands of tablets or whatever, fentanyl or whatever. So one house can be buying the precursors and sending the product out and being run by some kind of a cartel. Ham salami, provolone with oil and vinegar. Delicious. Happy Friday. As you can see, the sun is starting to set here. I think the sun is gone kind of below the horizon. And you can see that the it's starting to get a little bit dimmer out there, but you can still see the water on the lake. This is Sylvan Lake in here behind me. And it's the actual video of what's happening there. It's not like a pre-recorded thing or something like that. Girls be giving Mike all day. That's how far back I am on the chat here, I think. I think you can still smoke in the native casinos in Alberta. Like in Edmonton, there, Pooh Scissors. Can't you smoke in the, what is it, the Cree, River Cree? I'm pretty sure they still have the smoking and non-smoking section. Yeah, exactly. Blackjack tables, that's freedom. Well, and the pole one-armed bandits there too. You can smoke. They have a whole big section there for smokers. I know, I've gone there. Art history with Vaughn Michelle. If it isn't Vaughn. How are you doing, Vaughn? Hopefully staying out of trouble. Staying out of DOA trouble. Making deals. Yeah, we're making deals over here in Sylvan Lake. This is my new territory. We're moved in and we're taking over territory here. Well, yeah, people didn't understand what tariffs were all about. But if your country puts up tariffs, that means you pay more for product of the country that the tariff is against for their product coming into your country. So if the USA puts up a tariff of, let's say, 20% on Canadian vehicles, that means that a car that costs $100,000 normally, as it crosses the border, will now cost you $120,000 for that same vehicle if there's a 20% tariff that Trump is, if he's put up a 20% tariff on vehicles coming from that country. And he absolutely did that to lots of countries. But just keep in mind that Trump making a good deal with the country is maybe down to like 10%. You know what I mean? So U.S. goods flowing to that country have no tariff whatsoever, but goods flowing in to the USA would have like a 10% tariff, and that it would be a good deal with Trump, is what I'm seeing, right? Like, take for example deals that he's made with Germany or the UK or whatever, you know, where they have like vehicles and stuff like that they want to sell into the States. They'll still be tariffed at maybe 10%. But Canada has got tariffs all over the yin-yang. Like, for example, you might have a 50% tariff on steel, for example, coming from Canada. So instead of paying $1,000 for an amount of steel, you're now paying $1,500 for the same amount of steel. Same thing with aluminum, with copper, with and I forget what the exact number is on softwood lumber. Those are the big things. But we still have that free trade agreement with the USA and with Mexico, and that is going to be expiring here pretty quick. I forget when the timeline is at, but probably 6 or 8 months, something like that. So they're talking about that. And we'll see what the new agreement is going to be with especially with Canada. I don't know what the tariff will actually be. We'll have to see. Any representation of tribes in Parliament? Jeez, that's a good question. Parliament is kind of you have different departments, you know, with the Canadian government. You know, like the Aboriginal whatever department. But no, you don't really have tribes that have a person like a member of Parliament. Like, you'll have an area of the country where a tribe happens to be, and you'll have, you know, the person that was elected in that area that ends up being a member of Parliament. Hey, wow, this bottle looks almost invisible, but it's got the nipple on the end of it. I'm almost out of water. I need something different than water. Maybe I should go and get that can of booze or something here. See what I have in the fridge there. I know that I saw some kind of booze in the fridge. My wife bought something. She's bad for buying booze, and then she never drinks it. She just leaves it for me to get drunk like at times like this. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I gotta find something else to drink. Okay, so stand by, stay out of trouble, and if you can't stay out of trouble, name it after me. Okay. Yeah. Where were you? Thomas Crenshaw in the house. Hang on, let me get back in here again. Camera number 1. There we go. Okay, get my feet back up on the chair here and relax a little bit. Actually, I'm thinking that my mic arm here should be adjusted a little bit there from where it's cranked onto the table here, because I'm almost at its limit here when I back up my chair here. But anyways, is what it is. Let's see what else we have here. Canada's being taken over by cartels. At least some people in the States think that. So let's bring this story in here about that exact item. Stand by here and we'll bring it in here. Here we go. Let's listen to this little ditty.
Sabers, but I don't want to contribute to that. What I want to say to every world leader who gets up in arms when all we're asking for is fairness and to have them stop killing our people is, please listen to us. Canada could do a lot more. Canada has been taken over, Brett, by Mexican cartels. They bring up these pill presses and printers and the medicines that they fake. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's major
Pharma
problem.
companies can't. You need a spectrometer to do their sabers. And
There you go. So we're definitely pressing those pills out up here in Canada, and the Americans are not liking it. In fact, there was some kid that died of some kind of a beer can full of meth in New Zealand, when the kid died because he drank that can of meth. Some, I don't know, where do they ship meth as a liquid? I didn't know that. But anyways, that happened, and then they were shipping meth to New Zealand in bottles of maple syrup, where they replaced the maple syrup with meth liquid. So I don't know, pretty weird. It is very weird. Here's Carbon Carney. Carney has secured 42 contracts since becoming Prime Minister. All contracts have been with Brookfield Management. Canada is being looted. And he supposedly has shares in this Brookfield Corporation. And Carbon Carney is like really tied in closely to Brookfield. And it seems like an awful lot of what he's pushing and signing contracts and all kind of stuff like that in Canada is with this Brookfield Corporation, which apparently he owns shares in. And he's got shares that are slated to be his at a certain period of time in the future. So, you guys that think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, what about all this business of him enriching himself? I noticed that you guys aren't even talking about that whatsoever. Like, he's into being Prime Minister for himself, for sure. I don't think that he's doing a lot of good for actual Canadians, but he is doing an awful lot of good for Brookfield and the subsidiaries of Brookfield. That name comes up all the time. Unbelievable. Fake news. Yeah, it wasn't fake news. It was true. It was true. Little Kiwi meth story. We have issues with cartels and reality. We need a very tough position on drug trafficking. Need to be tough. Being soft approach doesn't work. Yeah, I saw a story on the drug problems in Canada, and like in lower mainland of BC, where you've got like the east side of Vancouver, where it's just a big wasteland of drugs there with people that are just higher than a kite. And then you've got this where you give them free drugs It's just crazy. And you don't provide them any kind of, speaking of drugs, I've got this can of beer right here. It's called Radler. What is it? Radler, Stiegel Radler. Actually, there's this beer company right down the street where they manufacture beer, close to where I'm at here. Well, not right down the street, but whatever, a number of blocks away from me. And they make this beer. It's called Snake Lake Beer Corporation. And I have never tried one of those Snake Lake beers. But actually, the lake that's behind me that you see here was originally, the natives actually called it Snake Lake before the white man got here. Yeah, so this is Snake Lake right behind me. Now, I know you guys are going to be coming with something about that. Oh yeah, Tommy Temper is over at Snake Lake. What a snake, eh? No, the snake is Carney, the other guy that was on here, this guy here. So that's Snake Lake. This is the actual snake. But they changed the name from Snake Lake to Sylvan Lake. Why they did that, I don't know. I don't know the lore on that one. But I'm going to drink this beer. So it's Friday. It's Friday night coming up here. As you can see, the sun is going down and it's getting darker out there. And I want you to go and grab a beer or a shot of something, whatever it is that you like there, and have a beer with me. Do I believe the news? I don't believe anything anymore. I'm telling you about stuff that I heard, though. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. You guys can make your own decision. And that meth story, I think I saw on CTV or Global or one of those. So it definitely was on the mainstream. Fox News, I don't watch Fox News. And I'll tell you why, because I gave up my cable TV and I had to pay extra to get Fox News up here in Canada on cable TV. But I gave up my cable. I said, no more cable TV. Cut the cord, as they say. And I rely on the internet. And I have what's known as Google TV, right? I've got the Google Puck hooked up to my TV. As a matter of fact, this TV that I'm watching right now in front of me, which is a 75-inch screen, has Google TV built into the TV. It's like a smart TV. So I just turn it on and put on YouTube and whatever. And whatever I can get on YouTube, I watch. I don't know that I'm even subscribed to the Fox network on YouTube. So therefore, I generally speaking don't watch, exclusively Fox or anything like that. I watch whatever YouTube wants to serve up to me, basically. Wow, I was thinking maybe I'm going to drive somewhere because I think it's a little too cold to bike today, so I might have to drive somewhere to go to a restaurant or something like that. So I may end up going to a restaurant, so I don't want to drink too much. But I could always leave my stream going while I go to the restaurant, and then when I come back, then I could still be here. Or I could actually go live on my stream, like away from here. Is a good possibility. We could definitely do that. So we'll see what happens here as the stream goes on. Not a big stream, 31 people, so it's, pretty low numbers here. Let's see how my stream is looking on the vertical. Oh yeah, it looks not bad on vertical. At least I'm in the middle of the picture here. Hang on a second though. That's Lukey in the background there yelling, playing some game. Let's see, I have to move myself over here to be in the middle of the vertical stream. There we go. Now I'm more in the middle. Looking beautiful. CJ, how are you doing? Order in and get slammed. Yeah. Uh-oh, I got a phone call. Hang on. Let's see who's on the phone. It's probably my wife. Oh, it is too. Hang on. Stand by. Okay. You're probably saying no audio. Well, yeah, because I shut my audio off because I was on a phone call there. That was just my wife. She's mobile on her way here. And I just convinced her to go out to a restaurant. And I convinced her to drive. So I can drink and not worry about drunk driving and stuff like that. We can have a fun time tonight. And we're going to this cool restaurant. It's kind of like a bar restaurant. And I don't know if they'll allow me to video in the place, but it's a pretty cool place. It's a hopping place. But they're going to have lots of copyright music playing in there and whatever. But it's a fun kind of a place. It's like a restaurant, but it's like being in a bar with lots of people, with music and people yelling and screaming and stuff like that. And they have really good food. They've got this kind of a beef brisket and shredded ham type stuff, and lots of really yeah, both my sons had burgers, and holy geez, they were just huge burgers. So we maybe ended up going there. That should be fun. News about more leaked emails. Hey, Jim is in the house there. Hey, Jim. How you doing there, Jim? Who knew when Trump was talking about his big, beautiful bill? He was talking about Bill Clinton. That's funny. Yeah. Well, you need those Epstein files to come out. Because I want to see if there's anything in there about Carbon Carney, our illustrious prime minister. Of course, it's going to be redacted. You know how those things come out from the government. It's like, here it is, and it's all blacked out, and we can't read any of it. So I don't know what the hell it's going to be like. I guess we'll find out. I want to see his book. Wasn't his book already released with a bunch of names in it and stuff? So we already know who's all involved in that whole thing. It's crazy.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
We had a fun time. You know that much for sure. You know that. Invite Queenie. Yeah, I've got my wife there coming with me. So I don't want to, have two women at one place. Could be a big match or something going on there. No, I'm not going to tell you where it is. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the place is. I don't want people phoning there, you know, and saying, oh, the guy with the Tommy Temper hat ordered 10 burgers or whatever, send it over to his table. I remember watching this one streamer once where he went to, I think it was in Japan or somewhere like that, right? He was streaming in Japan, and he showed on the table the QR code on the table. He showed it on his stream, right? And then he sat down to eat, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of stuff started arriving at his table, you know, that he didn't order, right? And it's like, oh, and it's like he goes, oh, people saw it and they ordered this for you online with the phone call. They phoned up and ordered this stuff for you. And he's going, oh, that's pretty good. So the guy's got, you know, food, more and more and more coming to his table, and he's eating. And then he finally gets up to go, and the guy brings the bill. And it was for all the crap that was brought to him. Nobody paid for anything, but everyone phoned up and ordered, or was online or something. or they ordered a bunch of stuff to his table, and then he had to pay for it. Holy jeez. So I don't want that to happen. So for that reason, I'm not telling you where I'm going. Beautiful day. I've been in the hospital since Saturday. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, ABD. But I hope that you're better. Hey, if they're releasing you from the hospital, then thumbs up. It's got to be better than it was when you went in. So that's good to hear. Good to hear. We're not going to ask you why you were in there, but that's irrelevant. The fact is that you're, you know, you've got the oomph, the goomph, the gumph, whatever you want to call it, to tell us about the fact that you're out, and that's a good thing. So glad to hear that. So you can maybe have a beer with us. How about that? Ah, that's good. I hope you get taken care of well at home. Yeah, exactly. Seashells. CJ, I bet I can figure out where it is. LOL. You might, based on what I said. If you know all the bars in Sylvan Lake, or all the places. Well, actually, I don't know, because you know there's lots of places in downtown Sylvan Lake. You know, there's the biker bar, and then all along, you know, Lakeshore Drive, there's a whole bunch of bars with restaurants all along there. So almost any one of them could be like I described. But yeah, we'll go out there somewhere. I should actually book it, because this particular place is not that big. And the last time I tried getting in, we phoned to book, and they wouldn't let us in. They said, no, we're already booked up. And that was like by 6 o'clock-ish. So if I was smart, I would phone there right now. But I'm not going to. We'll just play it by the seat of our pants. And if we don't get in there, we'll get in somewhere else. Surgery went really well. I just got home. PT, etc., coming to help regain your strength. Use of your left leg. I have a few people helping you. Well, good to hear that, ABD. Yeah, sad to hear that you had problems with your leg. Not too good. My wife has got problems with her shoulder and her arm, and she was not doing too much. She bent over something to, I don't know, reach for something on the ground and pulled some muscle. So she's actually went to a doctor, and now she's going to physiotherapy, and it actually ended up being a pretty serious thing. So yeah, once you get a little bit older, you have to watch what you're doing and be careful of your muscles and stuff like that, because, you know, pulling or doing something out of the ordinary can definitely cause a lot of harm. I know what you mean. QR code linked to the seat he was sitting in. And the chat paused the stream, hit the code, and started ordering. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. So if you're a streamer don't, stream those QR codes that are on the tables, because that allows you to order online for that table. And that's what those people were able to do. They didn't have to pay for anything, but they were able to order for that table. And it's like, how these things are. It's like, there's a QR code. You're sitting at that table. Oh, okay. So maybe that QR code is specific to that table too, They can do that. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I should go live more often. Lately, I haven't been going live too much. I've been watching a lot of streams online, watching a lot of the Canadian streamers that are doing their things. A lot of people bitching about Carney, and he's got his big budget that he's trying to get the all the rest of the parties to agree with and pass them in Parliament. And basically what happens is the whoever's in charge, whoever won the election, that party has to come up with a budget, and then that budget has to be passed in Parliament. And it hasn't been passed in Parliament yet. We're at that stage, and you've got pretty much every one of the other parties, except maybe the NDP, I don't know, are against it. And because we have a minority government in Canada, the government itself can't pass that budget. They need the help with a couple of other votes from some of the other parties. And whether or not they're going to get that, I don't know. And then you had the business of the one dude in Eastern Canada across the floor from the Conservatives over to the Liberals. So that was a kind of a bad thing. Well, good for the Liberals, I guess, but bad for the Conservatives. And the mainstream media is just bashing Pierre Poilievre like crazy because they're so lefty. They want the whole world to be lefty. So you're never going to hear them say anything good about Pierre, which, of course, I like Pierre. I think he's our good guy. He's the best. Being a Friday, it will be busy, absolutely. 5-year-old started kindergarten in September. The first week of school, he pulled a fire alarm. Oh no! In kindergarten, holy smokes. That's crazy. Her mom is a twin. Pink Hat. Oh yeah, the Blue Jays lost. I know, we were rooting for them. We would hope that they would win, but they lost. But you know what that proves. And those games were actually really, really close. It proves that both teams were exceptional. Either team could have won. And because they went into overtime, well, whatever you want to call it, extra innings in baseball, it proves that they were really, really good teams, and that it was almost a matter of luck as to who actually got the last, run or whatever, score in order to actually win it. Like, it was so close. So both teams, were deserved to actually be in the final. That was my take on the whole thing. I think it was a really good series, that's for sure. Erdem, hey, Erdem coming in there. Hey, good to see you. Lots of people with the chat that have been here like for years. Erdem, you're one of them there for sure. Good to see you. TT loves PP. You got that right, Dean. I do. It doesn't matter what the CBC says about him. They're because we know that those guys are bashers. Same thing with Global and CTV. They can go, oh, he's a Trumpster. Well, you know what? Carney is more of a Trumpster than Pierre, because look at Carney. He's a billionaire. What's Trump? Trump is a billionaire. Okay, Pierre is just an average Joe. He's not a super rich guy. So, like, you guys are like all around Carney, who's actually a good friend of Trump's. You know, he's more of a Trumpster. He comes out and goes, we're all against the U.S. and blah, 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 and all the rest of this stuff. Meanwhile, he's a friend of Trump's. Good friend. And he even wears a red tie and says to Trump when he meets him, "Oh, I put this tie on just for you, my good friend." Unbelievable. All of a sudden, my American investments, or Brookfield investments, are doing really well. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm going to be investing in Brookfield myself. I'm taking all my money out of Canada and investing it in the United States of America, because I want to get somewhere. I don't want to just invest in these lowly Canadian companies that are going nowhere under the control of Carney, who wants to keep us poor in Canada and wants us to live in a Brookfield modular doghouse. Like, come on. Stopped in a bar to buy our house in Florida. The lady sitting next to me started talking to me. She paid her check and left the bartenders. And the bartender said, hang on, I've got to hear the rest of that story. And the rest of the story. Yeah, do you really have a 5-year-old kid? Yeah, I know. Regina or Montreal. Okay. She paid her check and left. The bartender said, "Do you know who that lady is? Her father invented the barcode." What's the barcode? I know what the Morse code is, but what's the barcode? Is that like something to do with lawyers or something to do with drinking? Oh, I love watching these, the First Amendment auditors, or True North Transparency in Canada. He's probably the number one guy that I watch, where he goes with his camera in front of some business, and then the guy comes out and says, "You can't record my business. You can't record me. What are you doing recording?" You know, and he's like, yeah, none of your business. And I'm here on business, but it's none of your business. And triggers the guy all like crazy. And then they end up phoning the cops, and then the cops come and go, "Well, you know, he's on public property, so he can record your business because he's on public property." Yeah, what's Mark Carney's net worth? I don't know. But he owns a lot of shares in Brookfield, apparently, that he hasn't even cashed in yet. So he's got tons and tons, you know. Put it this way, the more that Brookfield goes up in value, the more money he's going to be worth. And Brookfield is that number one company. But he does own shares in something like 100 different companies, but only about 3 of them are located in Canada. So for a guy that's supposedly a Canadian, he certainly doesn't like investing in Canadian companies at all. It's, you know, kind of a shame, actually. But I'm going to have this beer. It tastes like orange juice. It's got a picture of an orange on it here. And it's Orange Rattler. Tasting good. The QR code. Your friend. A barcode. Oh, the black lines. Oh, that barcode. Yeah, the barcode, like on my can of Radler right here. This barcode. Now I know what you... Okay, well, that's the third barcode. It could be like the code of ethics for people that serve booze. Could be some code of ethics for people that are in the bar that are lawyers, or it could be the barcode on your product that you're buying. Exactly. Why I didn't? Well, I'm getting drunk. That's why I never thought of that. It's the booze affecting me here. K9 Gaming in the house. Hey, hey. How are you doing there, K9? Sorry I had to take your wrench away. But you were hanging out too much over in Al Munson's channel there. And I took a look to see anybody that was hanging out in Al Munson's channel. I had to take their wrench away. So sorry about that, K9. You know, it's just one of those things. Look at, if it isn't G is me. 3 watching. You're still rambling on. What do you mean 3 watching? I've got 25 people watching. And I have people watching on X, don't forget. Oh, you must be watching on vertical. Yeah, well, just keep in mind that I got more people watching on horizontal. Because I'm actually on vertical and horizontal at the same time. So yeah, must be 3 watching on vertical. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't looked over there. But gee, you're on you come over to the horizontal. That's where everyone is. And you can see more people in the chat over there. Just saying. But I'm just trying out this vertical and horizontal here at the same time because StreamYard is now offering it. And you don't have to pay extra to stream to 4 places at once now, which 2 of them would be vertical and then horizontal. And they just started offering it here. This is the first time that I've seen it. So I actually tried it. That's why you're probably going to see a lot more people streaming horizontal and vertical now, if they use StreamYard. If and you know what I mean. That's what it is. It's a StreamYard thing where they're just allowing it. Careful, don't use that term in my chat. I don't use that term at all. I don't call people a white supremacist or a bigot or a racist or a misogynist or a xenophobic or a fascist or what did I leave out? I must have left out a name. Gee, it's pretty hard. You know, you have to give me credit for coming up with all those. Hang on, there's got to be another one. Misogynist, did I say that? 3 Korean bots on vertical. Yeah. By the way, G, this is a real video. I mean, video. This is a real scene. I've got a camera pointed at the lake, at Sylvan Lake here. And this is the real lake shot that you see here with real cars driving by there. So that's not fake. Well, it is fake in the sense that it's not right behind me. I'm using green screen. But, you know, I have, you know, as part of the green screen is an actual camera pointed at the lake. And actually, it's getting dark outside. We're going to lose light here pretty soon. And then that camera will go to black and white because it's not a color camera. Well, it is a color camera because it's color right now. But when it gets dark, then it goes to a black and white video. So we'll see. What's the topic of the conversation? If you saw those birds flying by there, that's the Canada geese that are getting ready to fly south. And they're really honking a lot out here. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I can turn that audio on there. Hang on. No. I thought I would be able to turn that. There's the Amazon truck coming to do my Amazon delivery or something like that. No, the topic is me drinking, having some booze. If you go to the beginning of my stream, you'll see the Russian robot bit, which was pretty funny. Which we had the Russian guy on there complaining about their crappy Russian robot that fell down. Which is pretty funny. So that bit, you'll have to go to the beginning and see. But I see, G, that you're allowing your platform to be used by Al so that he can call people white supremacists, you know, like Mechanic Eric and that. And so Charlie. So, you know, because they got didn't Charlie get his channel taken down or something? What happened to Charlie's channel? Never heard what happened. Why did Charlie's channel get taken down? And I heard your channel got taken down too. But hey, you're still there. What can I say? I don't know what the deal is with that. And who's taking channels down and are reporting people or stuff like that. But something was going on there. I'm not sure. Nymphomaniac. Necrophiliac. Might be more to the point. We were talking about immigration. Yeah, right. How everyone is coming to our countries and taking over. Pretty soon we're going to be just like those European countries where you watch the people rioting in the streets all the time. No-go zones and stuff like that. It'll be, you know, pretty soon America will be just like Michigan. What's that place in Michigan where it's kind of taken over now, and you can't be just a regular person walking down the street. Tommy hates words that describe, you know, yeah, well, you guys think that. You know, it's like lefties think that. You think that everyone is like, you know, a racist and a whatever. Homophobic. Oh, I forgot that one. And in reality, I don't care. I don't care about people. Everyone has the right to do whatever they want. Just, you know, don't interfere with what I'm up to. And don't make my life, a, you know, poor place to live. You know, I don't want to be overtaxed. Or I don't want to be living in a place where there's so many people in here that you're stifled. You know, I've got kids, and my kids need to be able to live as well. You know, they want to have a job. They want to have a reasonable priced dwelling, a house, you know, and a good life. And what I see is that we have a crumbling of our economies because of too many people coming in, at least in Canada here. Too many people coming in and not enough places for them to live. And of what housing there is, it is so overpriced that people can't afford it. You have to be a person coming over here with an awful lot of money in order to afford like a $1 million house, for example, in places like Toronto, Vancouver. You know, other places it's maybe $500,000 to $750,000 for, you know, just a 1,700 square foot townhouse, something like that. It's like crazy. Very low energy. I'm having a beer. I'm relaxing. This is a relaxing podcast here. You know, I'm just talking to the chat, reading the chat. You know, a lot more. There's Jim. Jim's a good guy. A lot more pressing issues. But they put these little things in. I doubt if any congressman even reads the bills they vote on. That's true. $5,000 seashells a year. Sex robots. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Pooh says, as we were talking about sex robots there earlier. And those Russian sex robots are not worth the money they're paying for them. You got to pay $1 million for a Russian robot that falls on its face. And meanwhile, Elon Musk robot is only 20,000. So they're getting ripped off over there in Russia. You know, you don't even get a decent, where's my beep noise?
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
I shouldn't allow free speech on my channel. Nah, I allow free speech. Who gives a shit? I allow free speech. I don't really ban or time out anybody. But on the other hand, there's so many people with wrenches that you're bound to get timed out. You know, and I can't help it. These things happen. Maybe I should take away. I was thinking about taking away a whole bunch of wrenches, and then kind of starting over again with given wrenches, you know, and just having way fewer wrenches. Because yeah, some people do complain that they get timed out and then they get butthurt, just like JFK is saying here about me. Fifi's hurt very easily. Emotional. See, like that's the people in the chat you're talking about, JFK. You guys don't like it when you get bashed with the wrench. There's Jim with a good joke. There's a joke of the day. Haha, that was funny. Jim, you win the funny joke prize. Dearborn, Michigan. There you go, Masai. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Pretty soon, all of USA will be just like Dearborn. You know, and you can feel it coming because look at who you guys elected in New York. I'm waiting for those food stores to come in there, the government food stores to come in New York. I'm waiting for that to happen. This should be epic. Oh, speaking of who we were just talking about, Mechanic Eric. We were just talking about you over on Ghislaine's channel there. And how Al was calling you a white supremacist there. It's funny that you would pop in at this point here. But good to see you. Dimebag popping in. Hey, Dimebag with the dot. Dot, da, dot, dot. Da, 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 da. Oh, look it. We went to black and white. It's gotten so dark. In fact, I look out my window and it's dark out there now. And the camera has gone to black and white now. Told you it was going to happen. And it will change as it gets darker. And as the sky turns pitch black, then the IR light will come on. Oh, look at it. It's flickering between color and black and white. It can't make up its mind. And it's starting to go focus weird there too. So yeah, we're seeing the Leroy Truth. Shells in Brantford? Oh no. Isn't that the shithole of Canada now? Leroy Brown. The Last Dragon. 80s flick. Yeah, I remember that. See, that camera is trying to make up its mind because it's getting dark and it's flickering between black and white and color. And on the black and white, it's turning on the infrared. But you can't see the infrared light on the trees because that background has to get a little darker. So we'll see what happens here. When you drive south from Detroit, you're in Canada. Yeah, I know. There's some weird geography there. That's where Trump keeps talking about, draw a straight line across. No, they never did draw a straight line. Mr. Bobinski. Government should ask us for money, then persuade us to fund their temporary project. Nothing mandated. Exactly. Instead of absconding our money, taking our money, and then coming up with bullshit projects that they want to spend their money on, like carbon capture, for example. Carbon capture. Carney's going to make an awful lot of money off of carbon capture, isn't he? And that's the reason that he's pushing that project. All those carbon capture bullshit projects. Come on, just plant a couple of trees. Pistons looking good. They scam, yeah, you got that right. A cheaper sex bot version. What do you mean, the Elon Musk version, not the Russian model? No, I don't need that. I've got a real wife. She's going to be walking in the door here any second, by the way, because she phoned and said she's on her way here because it's you know, that day of the week, and I'm down here having fun at the lake, and now she's motoring down here to have some fun tonight. Mine's double, Tommy, and I ain't got no lake or sea close by. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, this is nice here, being by the lake. I love it. And when the lake freezes over, then I'll get a one of those fishing tents there, and we'll go ice fishing. See if we can catch some ice. That would be fun. There you go. Yeah, well, they were starting to talk shit about me a little bit there. There was somebody said the word bigot in there. I think it was Dean or someone. He couldn't help himself. But I have to give Al Munson credit. He's being really holding back. He knows better. As a matter of fact, I've heard him complain about getting timed out in my chat. So he knows to, hold back a little bit. But, I'm not as bad as that Ryan Jesperson, where I go, oh, you finally got a reasonable guest on your show. And then he times me out for saying that. Like, that's pretty bad. Ryan Jesperson, tell Johnny to whack his own pee-pee and not mine. Speech is free and should stay that way. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should just take away all the wrenches. But the problem is that I need somebody with a wrench to turn on 1 minute of being a channel member before you can talk and chat, and the 5-second delay to prevent the spammers from bombing us here. So, I really need somebody with a wrench to do that. And those are actually my super mods that can do that. Not just a standard mod. DEI wrenches. Yeah. Everyone gets a wrench. Every DEI applicant gets a wrench. You like Jim's joke? Huh? What about wrenches? DEI back to modding. Yeah, right. Hang on, let me ask Grok about that. Hang on, where's Grok? I'm gonna ask Grok a question, okay? Tell me a funny joke.
Why don't eggs tell jokes? They'd crack up.
Oh, jeez. Tell me a dirty joke.
Why did the gardener quit? Too much dirty work.
Oh my God. That's not even dirty. That's like two white horses fell in the mud, you know, like that's not dirty, even though it's dirty.
Why did the soil go to couples therapy? It kept getting too attached.
Oh, jeez.
What? I thought gardeners were kinky.
Wow, they're always fooling around with the lady of the house, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then she makes him weed the flower bed for hours.
The flower bed.
You know, the one by her patio, where she sunbathes in lingerie.
Oh. Don't talk like that. You're starting to get Masad aroused.
Whoa, should I back off or?
Yeah, better back off a little.
All right, backing off, backing way off.
Did you say whacking off?
I said backing off. Definitely not that.
Masad. Tell Masad a joke. He's like a horny old guy that's looking for a girlfriend.
Why did the skeleton go to therapy? Turns out he couldn't find anyone who'd stick around.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm stopping that right now. The Golden Dome. Well, Trump is trying to get Canada to pay for the Golden Dome, not golden showers. He's into the Golden Dome. Did you hear about that new product out now? There's a new weapon that's a laser that can shoot down drones, say. Well, that's a pretty good one. With all this drone technology that's coming out these days, there's all kind of new weapons and stuff in that realm. I've been kind of watching that because I've been watching that war between Russia and the Ukraine. She bringing snacks, yeah. Golden showers. Let's see if we can amp up the music here a little bit. Oh, I don't like that. Wah, 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 wah. No. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, how's that video looking at the lake? Look, you can still see that it's a real lake. Look at right over there. You can see the water, the ripples in the water. So it is a real scene. I didn't fake it. It is happening. My wife should be here any second. I don't know where she is. What's taking so long? Get a ski-doo. Yeah, I could ski-doo right across that lake. Well, I know that the guy right next door to me, he's got a sea-doo, and he's storing the sea-doo in my garage, as a matter of fact. So, I'll have to ask him next year. go for a ride on a Sea-Doo or else get one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get something to fool around with. Don't take my wrench. You see, I'm already getting people saying that they don't want me to take their wrench. Ooh, 40 people in the chat now. It's looking good. Well, we've got some people watching on X, on the vertical and on the horizontal. So the audience is building up as the night approaches. Nuts and crackers. Finally, he appears late at night. He's been out and about all day. Finally got back home. Turn that computer on. Fear not, fear not. We understand. A devotional symbol. Oh yeah, the giant statue. Oh my. Why are they putting up those statues all over the place? It's making me feel like Canada is not Canada anymore. And then I turn on, I go walking down the street and I go ding ding a ding a ding a 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 ding ding a ding a ding. Everywhere I hear ding ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. What the hell is what's this country become? Unbelievable. Leave your ding ding a ding at home if you want to come to Canada. We don't need that. With Viagra. It's the little blue pill Foxman's bought. Yeah, right. Did he have to go to the, did they have to call for an ambulance the other day or something? I don't know what's going on there. Jim says, I sat next to a girl at the bar last night. She said she just discovered she could buy Staples at Staples. So she said today she was going to Dick's. That's an American joke. We don't have Dick's up here in Canada. That's funny. But I heard Dick's got in trouble for something or other that they did a while ago. I don't know whether they were they supporting Trump or not supporting Trump. They were it was something to do with that. Don't shove your dick where it doesn't belong, I guess. Is the moral of the story. It's a Bollywood movie. Yeah, exactly. Life is a Bollywood movie. I think I'll go black and white here too. I'll change me to black and white with the black and white background, and it'll be a black and white show. How about that? You guys are saying that my face looks so white. Well, yeah, it's probably because I'm a white guy. Give me a break. Tommy Temper took my wrench. Not that I ever really used it, but it was more of a symbol of respect than a job as a mod. Wow, maybe you're going to be back on YouTube again and hanging around and going to the chats and stuff like that. It is a respect thing. You're absolutely right about that. Hang on a second. But remember, when I pull everyone's wrenches, I'm going to pull your wrench too, okay? So just keep that in mind. So, you know, I might, and I've been talking about pulling everyone's wrench here. So, but anyways, you're having a wrench is a sign of respect. There's no doubt about that. That's how I feel too. Some people in their streams give me a wrench as well. And it's more of a respect thing that I give them a wrench in my chat and then they give me a wrench in their chat. And it's like copacetic kind of a thing. CJ says pull them all. Yeah. I know, I should. And start from the beginning again. Because actually some people feel butthurt not having a wrench, you know, like the people that come from Al Munson's channel there. They can feel butthurt because they come here and they feel they deserve a wrench because they're just as much of a participant as Mechanic Eric, you know, for that matter. Okay, what else can we dig up here that's of interest? Oh, look at this guy said that the budget was a piece of garbage, and now Carney is looking to get rid of him. He's called the Parliamentary Budget Officer, and he's not elected, but he's appointed. And now Carney wants to turf him because he said that this latest budget, Canadian budget by Carney, is a piece of garbage, way overspending, not enough revenue, putting a country in debt. It's a piece of shit. And so now Carney wants to get rid of this guy. Meanwhile, I think he's doing a fantastic job. There you go. So that story is out there. Why fix the problem when you don't have a problem? And here's Carney and his wife. And if you saw that picture that I put up there a minute ago, whatever, an hour ago, of Carney, well, Carney actually had his wife's hairdo, but this is Mark Carney, our, Prime Minister of Canada, and this is the First Lady of Canada. Oh my God. Like, she can't even comb her hair. He's always wearing some bizarre thing. Well, at least it's a black coat or whatever there today with this shot here. And I don't know what the two of them have going on there, but I know that they have a kid that is transgender. I know that much. And I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. But check this out. Okay, so there's Carney and his wife. And then here's a picture of just Carney, okay, without his wife. So, yeah, I didn't make this up. Oops. I faded to black. Here's Carney without his wife. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, we're back again here. And this is the scumbag that was a conservative. He was a conservative. Okay, imagine this. Imagine that you're a Republican, and then just before an important vote that you quit the Republican Party and you join up to the Democrat Party. Well, this is what happened in Canada. This scumbag was a conservative, part of the Pierre Poilievre Party, and then just before this vote on the budget, scumbag dude here, don't even care what his name is, D'Entre or some weird name, French name, he jumps ship. Basically, everyone voted him in as a conservative, and then he goes, "Oh, well, I'm not a conservative anymore. I'm dumping the conservatives, and I'm becoming a liberal now." And meanwhile, pissing off everyone that voted him in. She in? Okay, my wife is pulling up here now. So we're gonna have places to go and people to see. So this should be fun here tonight. Here's that picture that Dean, you're saying that this is the picture that's fabricated. Do you really think that this picture is fabricated? This is Ghislaine in the black, Carney in the purple, and Carney's wife on in the white. Okay, that's back when she did have a hairdo. A hairdo. Now you're telling me that this photo was fabricated? I don't think it's fabricated. It might be. It might be, you know. Hey, in today's, you know, whatever. And this was actually something that was taken a while ago. So I don't think it was fabricated at all. Uh-oh. Wife is at the door, banging at the door because she doesn't have a key to get in. But yeah, that's the famous Ghislaine, along with the Prime Minister of Canada photo. And of course, you know, she's the famous Epstein Ghislaine. Yo, you got stuff you're bringing in? We're still live here. Oh, I've still got to finish my beer. Well. If it isn't Sandy Foster. You showed up just in time for the Ghislaine Carney's wife photo there. Good timing. Yeah, mechanic has a wrench. Of course, as all mechanics should actually have a wrench. No problem with that. Was that pick in England or on the island? Yeah, apparently it was in England. And I forget whose property it was on. Geez, was it some property of Carney's? Or, I don't know. I forget the background of the photo. But it's not taken on the island, though. Not as far as I know. It was some UK property, though. I think it was taken in the UK. It was a respect wrench there, Pooh. Like, Mechanic Eric and I have had a friendship for many, many years already. From back in the days of the convoy. Like, that's where, you know, we first knew or met, whatever, and became friends. Just over the internet. I've never met Mechanic Eric in person, though. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, he's a pretty good guy. You know, I don't know, maybe people, you know, have said that he's somewhat of a womanizer, but on the other hand, he's a single guy and whatever, has probably met a few girls over the years and whatever. Yeah, well, you know, but you can't hold that against anybody. That's probably been how a lot of people have been. But short of that, they'd get me and Queenie makeup. Well, we never really made up, but we never really were that far apart, short of I just kind of stayed out of her channel and she kind of stayed out of my channel. And she's doing her own thing now. She was at Value Village and she bought this rack or something for jewelry, and she was telling me how she's selling jewelry now on her channel and stuff, you know, different things like that. Oh, good. I got some Amazon packages just came in. Hey, hon, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, cold. Uh-oh. Cold out there. But we met each other at a store in Red Deer there the other day. So, you know, we had to say hi to each other, and I did a little video and she did a little video. If you look at her videos, she did she went live. So look at her lives and you'll see the beginning of one of her lives where we were both together there chatting and whatever for just, you know, whatever, a couple of minutes. But it's not like I'm going to be hanging out in her channel all the time, or she's going to be hanging out here. She put it this way: she's kind of reformed to a certain degree, and she's doing stuff that she wants to do now, like doing her jewelry stuff and handbags and stuff like that, and just she doesn't need a big audience. She really honestly doesn't care if there's 5 people watching her or 50 people watching her. She has her own friends, her own channel, and doing her own thing. And hey, good for her. Hopefully she will do well, and hopefully she doesn't have to bash people, and other people don't need to bash her, and it's probably best that she just sort of is in her own circle and develops her own friends and stuff like that, does stuff on her own. So did we make up? Well, we never really, I put it this way, I don't dislike anybody, so I never really said anything negative about her at all. She was pissed off at me that I said, oh, I'm not going to go to her channel anymore or whatever. So of course she started, throwing insults at me. But I think nowadays she's not insulting as much, put it that way. Kind of maybe a bit of a reformed interneter. Maybe, I've learned a long time ago that you make more friends by being friendly with people. Right? And if you're enemies with everybody, well, you're not going to have that many friends. So I try and be friends with everybody, which is tough to do because you've got some people out there that are just wanting to be your enemy, saying negative things about you, calling you names, calling you out, going over to other channels and talking badly about you, doxing you, whatever, stuff like that. So it's really, really hard to be friends with everybody. But even people that have, are like talking negatively about people like me, I'll still go, hey, well, come on over here and have fun. I don't care. Just don't say that shit in my channel. You can go over and say something over in somebody else's channel, and I don't really care, because it's not a very huge world, where you say something on somebody else's channel, and it's going to be hurting me. Gotta love it, and no one has any dirt on me, so they have to try to make something up or nothing with any proof. Yeah, well, I remember that. The guy that was the worst is dead now, Eric, if you know who I'm talking about. The guy that died, he was the worst guy for saying stuff about you. I kind of thought in my mind, where he was like, oh, he knew this about you, that about you, and that's where the womanizer thing in my mind comes from, is from him. But he's not around anymore, so really, you don't really have anybody that I hear out here on the internet that talks badly about you. You're kind of doing your own thing. Well, except for Munson. But, Munson is like that towards anybody. I'm sure that if I came on G is Me's channel onto the chat, that she would Munson would probably bash the hell out of me too. Call me a Trumpster and a white supremacist and all the rest of the crap, Ian Branson this weekend at Mona's event. I don't think he was. Somebody asked him about that over on G's channel there, whether or not he was going to go. I thought he was not going to go, but maybe he did. I don't know. Good question. MT likes Eric. Always has. That's good. Proof is he pulled a wrench based on a lack of respect, then gave it back only because of pity. No, if I see that people don't come around my channel, like if you haven't been here for a month or so, well, then I'll pull the wrench. You know what I mean? So that's what happened to Eric. Eric was busy working there for a few months, whatever. And so I pulled his wrench. It wasn't because I didn't like him or he did something wrong, but it was more of that I thought that maybe he was sort of finished with YouTube and moved on to bigger and better things. But no, not so. He's back with a vengeance, going on the talk circuit there. Sandy Foster, I was not able to make it. I got injured at work. Oh, that's not good. Really couldn't make the drive. Would have liked to go. Hey, phone for a reservation.
Well, I know, I'm waiting for you to get off of there.
Yeah, phone for a reservation. I'll shut down as soon as we want to go. I'm just talking about the reservation for we're going out to a restaurant here tonight. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, I didn't want to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Sort of Jeff. I never really heard anyone say anything negative. Well, and Munson, you know, but nobody else. You know, you did your thing. You were very helpful with the whole convoy as far as I was concerned. You were like helping everybody over and over and over. And, you know, much respect for everything that you were doing there. I know what it was like because I was on the convoy to Ottawa. So, you know, I saw where the same thing, where there were certain people that had certain abilities, and then when a breakdown would happen, then certain people would step up to the plate and help the people that were in trouble, you know. And you were like that guy on that convoy. So, you know, it was like a selfless thing where, you know, you weren't getting paid for it. You were just doing it out of the goodness of your heart, you know, and then people come in and start attacking you for no reason at all. But, you know, hey, whatever. It's the way it is. Dean Wall says that's a fake photo. Well, I don't know if it's fake. You got me on that one. It might be fake. Yeah, but are you going to say this is a fake photo too? Come on. That's our First Lady of Canada. First Lady. She's such a happy person. She's always got a happy smile on her face, a kind of a cringy smile. I should have been Prime Minister. Yeah, Sandy. That's why I think that photo was real. It was a public event. Well, maybe not public, but a private party, some kind of a private party or something at somewhere in the UK. So I don't know. But Dean seems to think that it was a fake photo. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Ostrich photo. Pacer. I know. When I met up with Queenie, I mentioned Pacer. She knew what I was talking about. Poor Pacer. Got a shot in the head and is gone. Lady Diana. In an opposite way, yeah. PP has not been, well, no, the mainstream media is trying to make it seem like what is happening is, you know, like affecting PP. You know, of course, nobody likes it that somebody jumps ship, but only the mainstream media has been giving Pierre Poilievre a hard time, okay, and kind of trying to keep the topic off of this shitty budget. Really, honestly, you should be talking about the crappy budget. That's the most important thing, right? Quit talking about that budget and or sorry, not budget. Quit talking about PP and talk about the budget and talk about the bad things about this budget. you know, but the mainstream media is like, oh, well, Pierre's this, that, and the other thing, and they pushed his door in, and they bashed the door in, and they called him a snake, you know. Oh, what would you expect them to call him? The guy's a snake for doing what he did. Like, come on. It's like unbelievable. Okay, you can see that background there where the lights have come on now that are lighting up the tree there. The infrared lighting is now on. And we can see where over here there's a couple of lights have come on the houses across from the other side of the lake there. And let's see, no, we're not getting a reflection off the lake from those lights there. But it eventually will happen. Show us a picture of your wife. No, my wife doesn't want to come on camera. She has come on camera before, though. She gets dressed up as Superwoman, and she's been on here as Superwoman. But she just doesn't want to come on my stream because of guys like you. Specifically, because she doesn't like people to talk negatively about her. All right. She just likes to do her own thing. She's not like a social media star or something like that. She doesn't need to be a social media star. No, I don't think so. Carney is just like Trump. He's a billionaire. And if you guys don't like Trump, then for sure you shouldn't like Carney, because he's Mr. Brookfield. He owns a bunch of stock in Brookfield, and he's doing stuff all the time that is enriching Brookfield and making himself richer. You know, he's not really doing stuff that are making Canadians richer. He's doing things that are making his own stock in Brookfield richer. Like, really? Do I need to point out all the things that he's doing? Just follow the money. Like, why did he become prime minister? Not because he wants to help out Canada and he feels so bad for all the Canadians and we need help and whatever. No, he can push through projects that are gonna enrich the companies that he owns shares in. Like, he's not stupid, but he's definitely fooled a lot of people. So Sandy, don't be fooled by Carney. Just saying. Well, definitely, you know what? If it was me, I would not have given. You know what? It's like playing a game where you have your cards like this. When you have a certain number of cards, but what Carney is doing, he's going, "Oh, I have this in my hand and I'm throwing it away. I have this in my hand and I'm throwing away, and I have this in my hand and I'm throwing away and throwing away and throwing away," until finally he's got nothing. And Trump is going, "Oh, I'm going to put this tariff against you," and Carney is going, "Well, I showed you all my cards and we got rid of anything that we had against you, so now we've got nothing, so you can do whatever the hell you want to us." And that's where we're sitting here now. We got no cards, we got no plan, no action whatsoever, and we're being taxed to death. And just wait until this NAFTA agreement comes up. When that comes up, Trump is going to go, all that free trade stuff is gone. Now you're going to have to pay 10, 20, 30%. And I don't like those frickin' milk dairy chicken cartel. I don't like that crap that you guys have up there in Canada. So you got to get rid of that before anything else happens. And you know what? Carney was so stupid that they actually passed a law through Parliament to protect that cartel, right? Because they knew that Trump was doing that. And this cartel pushed through this whole thing to get actual parliamentary protection so that now, if that cartel is going to be dissolved and we say, okay, free trade on all the dairy and everything else, they're going to have a vote in Parliament to get rid of that. So yeah, it has to be done, though. You got to get rid of that cartel if you want to talk to Trump. And the very best that could happen is we could end up having 10% tariffs against products coming from Canada into the States, okay, and 0 tariffs on products coming from the States to Canada. And Trump has the power to be able to impose that, and that's what he's doing to a lot of other countries. And that's probably the best that we could get from Trump in the future if we get rid of this dairy chicken egg, whatever cartel. Mark my words, I know what I'm talking about. I'm following what's going on. PP's never had a real job and he's a millionaire. I don't know how much money he's got. I have no idea. That's a good question. But he's definitely not like Carney or Trump. Yeah, exactly, Mechanic Eric. Yeah, that's what he was up to. But he was trying to say that you were like a womanizer with like a whole bunch of people in the convoy and whatever. So, but you know, he was kind of a negative guy that was always trying to fight with people. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me. Robert Sinclair. PP has stock in Brookfield as well. Not much. Yeah, does he? I don't know that he does. But I would say that if you want to get rich, buy Brookfield stock, because Carney is pumping it. You know, he's talking about Brookfield all the time. He's getting into different things in Canada there where Brookfield is benefiting from it. So if you want to get rich, buy Brookfield stock. That's one way to do it. You know, sell your RRSP and take that money and buy Brookfield. Or take your RRSP, spin it into an account whereby you can buy stock within your RRSP and buy Brookfield. But I just told you what the plan is. The plan for the well, I don't know if it's conservative, but my personal plan would be to get rid of the milk cartel. But it's like suicide for any politician to say that they're going to do that, right? Because you're going to have a whole block of people in Quebec and with the Quebec pension plan that is not going to vote for you, right? So that's why any politician is scared to dump that dairy cartel. But if you want to talk to Trump, you got to dump the cartel. You got to get rid of it. And you got to come in on an even playing field where it's like, okay, we're at 0 tariffs on anything that comes into Canada. And Trump will put up 10% on anything Canadian. And that's it. And that's probably the best deal that you can make. I don't know that you can make any better than that, any better deal. If you know what I mean. Get back on the convoy scene. Yeah, what's the next thing? Remember, the convoy was a different thing for different people. Well, the American convoy was about a whole bunch of different things, but the Canadian convoy, like my own personal thing with the convoy was I got involved in it because I had a real big dislike for Trudeau. I didn't like what he said, didn't like what he did, and I knew that he would be pissed off when the convoy showed up. So like that's why I became part of it, right, and was part of it, because I knew that it would piss off Trudeau, which it did. You know, I knew that it would make him look bad. He would do the wrong things. He wouldn't talk to the convoy, which he didn't, right? The convoy arrived there and he shunned the convoy. Didn't want to talk to anybody, and made Trudeau look bad. So as far as I was concerned, the convoy worked quite well. It did its thing. Other people were there for, you know, and also, you know, the mandates. Let's not forget about the mandates, of course. We didn't like the fact that the mandates were keeping people from traveling and crossing borders and doing all kind of things. They were still in effect. And, you know, even going across Canada, there were lots of places where you couldn't go into a restaurant without a mask, without a face mask and stuff like that, you know, so it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But it didn't really achieve what it was out to, other than people are still talking about it years later, right? Many years later. So in that sense, it was very effective, in that it was way better than sending a letter to your MP and complaining, right? Because you wouldn't be talking about that today. Yeah, but COVID was over. Sandy Foster, COVID was over. It was over at that point. And the government was still pushing the mandates and stuff like that. And it was like gone. Done. And you know, if it was such a bad thing, just like those ostriches, where they had to kill the ostriches to keep it from spreading, well, why weren't they killing humans to keeping it from spreading? And those people that got COVID and survived, why weren't they killing those people like the ostriches, right? Why, like right now they have to kill the ostriches because they got the bird flu and they survived. Oh, but now you got to kill them. You know, like, geez, why do they have to do that? It makes no sense at all. If the bird survived, leave it alone. No need to kill something that survived a virus. It's like crazy. Well, hey, think about it. Why are they killing the ostriches? It's a living creature on Earth. Yeah, well, my point is they didn't kill any humans. So there was no need to kill any ostriches either. Because we're all living here. The virus is still around somewhere. Some people still have it or whatever. And it's morphed into something else to the same degree that the bird flu is going to morph into something else. And if something has built up a herd immunity to it, well, then leave that bird alone. Don't need to kill it. There you go. You're thinking that I'm saying that people should be killed. No, I'm just using that as a reasoning for what's going on. Nobody got killed. So why should any birds get killed? Same thing. They survived. Let the poor bird survive. It's already survived for millions of years. And it's probably some kind of a dinosaur. Came from the dinosaur line. Maybe, maybe not. But even avian flu morphs over time, doesn't it? For sure it does. Just to the same degree that the COVID virus morphed into something completely different. Yeah, measles outbreaks are happening right now. And why is that happening? It's happening because you're allowing so many immigrants to come into the country that are not that don't have the measles injection, whatever. You know, they're just letting people come into the country. Meanwhile, those people that are already in the country have had vaccines against measles, but the newbies coming in the country don't have the vaccines, and that's how the measles are coming into the country and spreading, because you've got a lot of people that haven't had the measles vaccine. And don't call the measles vaccine the same thing as the COVID vaccine. They're completely different. Completely different. So don't even try and compare the two things. But no, I agree with you. There is that's the reason that they killed the ostriches, right? It could have ruined many farms in BC, absolutely. There is that possibility. Could that have happened? I don't know. Has the virus morphed over the past year to where it's something completely different? I don't know. Hard to say. And we'll never know. But the birds are gone, and the government did what it needed to do, or what it thought it needed to do. And the rest is history. You know, I'm just a guy here talking about it. Am I on one side or the other? I'm not on the bird side. I'm not on the government side. I'm just sitting here watching what's going on and just going, what's the difference between right and wrong in this world? We'll never know. But anyhow, I'm going to go for a bite to eat. So I'm going to say thank you very much, everyone, for checking the stream out. Look at how it's changed behind me. We can't even see the lake. I think we can see a star or a planet right there. Wow, I should zoom in on that planet. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's kind of clear out there now. And yeah, we can see the trees and whatever, a bit of traffic out there. But other than that, not much. But thanks a lot for Working Class Patriot. Hey, good to see you. First time I've seen you in here. Well, at least now at this point. I think I saw you in here on one of my other streams there from Portland. We'll see what's happening in Portland or something there. Maybe we'll do a stream here, but hard to say whether I'll come back again here after supper. But anyways, seeing as my wife has arrived here, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Yeah, remember, I'm just a guy with the podcast. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong sometimes. I'm not perfect, right? And everyone has their own views on every subject that we're talking about out there. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. And sometimes opinions are like assholes, you know. Everyone has one, right?
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
What the dog doing?
That's right. Okay, we'll see you all later. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye for now. We're out of here. Take care. Stay out of trouble. And if you can't stay out of trouble, name it after me. Woohoo! We're out of here.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
You are the star of this show.